Okay, we are here. We are live. Man, going live stream, back to back live streams, you know what I'm saying? Let me do this. Objective breakdown, Black Clover edition. Today I'm just gonna be talking about not the entirety of Black Clover, but just the Black Clover arc. My quick thing regarding the entirety of Black Clover is that I actually very much enjoyed Black Clover. I 100% very much enjoyed Black Clover. I just had some issues with some things that were taking place. For some reason, the kick stream just doesn't work, but it is what it is. I'm tired of trying to fix it. I'm just gonna take it off. But hey man, if you're here, if you're watching the video after PC anime is officially gone and done. It is what it is. But we here. But I think eh, oh, someone added me in the Discord. Let me do this real quick. Okay. Aaron, appreciate you, my boy. It was a lot of fun. The last episode was a lot of fun. Try to make it a fun, not too serious last episode. Yeah, we could have gotten super serious about the story and the intricacies, but we it was the last episode was very important for to leave it off in the bang. Best way to put it. But all right, let's start it off. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the objective breakdown. If you're rewatching it, then I do appreciate you, of course. Little laggy actually. Hold on. Oh, it was a little laggy for a second. But today I'm going to talk about the Black Clover final arc. But before I talk about the Black Clover final arc, I'm actually going to read Black Clover chapter 369. I want to read this chapter. I'm going to read it live right now. I'm going to talk about it live right now. And then I'm going to talk about the entirety of the Black Clover final arc. But I'm going to start off with this. PC anime episodes nasty with FMA. Bro, I voted for FMA. I don't know how FMA loses to Yu Yu Hakusho. I think, and it can, to be honest, it was the chat's fault. All the chat just kept on voting for Yu Yu Hakusho. Aaron, I'm with you. Anti-magic is crazy. It doesn't make sense. Well, let's read this chapter. I'm not going to show it on screen because copyright. Well, Black Clover is back. Black Clover is back. I'll defeat Lucius and become the Wizard King. Got a little cover page. I'll show bits and pieces for the people who are watching or rewatching. I'll show bits and pieces. We got a little cover page. We got a little panel, of course. What's up? Okay. We got some more cover art, color page. This was a pretty cool one with some of the individuals on the right and then people on the left. It's 2-on-1. That's 2-on-2 where you got Yuno and Asta teaming up against Lucius. Not quite. It's 4 against 2. Lucius copied doubling his body to fight against Yuno and Asta. Although you've returned alive, I currently possess dozens of angels, 3 archangels, and 11 clones of myself. Interesting. The odds still remain in my favor. Whoa, what's going on here? Now we talk about anti-magic. Are they really all right, these people? The hell are you supposed to be? This is Ichika from the land of the sun. She helped me out. She's also Captain Yami's little sister. Oh, I see. So Captain Yami has a little sister. And then everybody goes crazy. Of course, that reveal is going to be good due to just character interactions. Wait just a minute, Asta-kun. How could Yami's little sister possibly be this cute? That's rude, Finral. If you come from so far away, you must be hungry. Here, eat up. She must be strong. Obviously, Luck doing his thing. Marie's cuter. Ghost doing his thing. Please accept my apology for being so rude. Magna doing his thing. All of the things we understood. This one seems interesting. And then Nosh. Oh, Nosh is the Nosh having a little character interaction with the Black Bulls is something new. Wait, someone. Let me make sure. Someone messaging me. Also, if anybody wants to pull up and say their piece, they feel free to pull up and say your piece. Like, to do what you got to do. Currently, you're all sharing Asta's anti-magic power. His anti-magic power is intertwining with itself with the nature of everyone's magic, allowing you to use pseudo anti-magic. This makes no sense. This pseudo anti-magic, it makes no sense. And I'll get into it more a little bit later, but it makes no sense. In other words, this technique makes us all nakama. Na- Oh my god, this is so cringe. Let me see this. Nakama means comrades, but Asa's making a pun here with ma, and Nakama is replaced with the kanji ma from magic and devil. Okay, all right. We're random. I randomized. I didn't make any magic matchups. That's so lame, huh? It's not so. It's not cool. Ultimate Black Lightning magic, Black Lightning Battle Fiend. It's so crazy. Naruto Clegg shared basically, but worse because the explanation is terrible. But take caution, for anti-magic power is not infinite. The more you use it, the faster it's consumed. While it does depend on the distribution of anti-magic, to think it's best to think of what you have to be enough for only one or two big attacks. Not a problem. So one or two big attacks, they could just use anti-magic. I don't get it. I guess I could use it all up by defeating these guys, but I have a better idea. The angels are falling rapidly. Are they clad in anti-magic? This might be a problem. He said one or two big attacks, but he's just using it for a number of attacks. So that's not even true right now. Oh, damn, I'm showing the whole panel. My bad. I'm about to get copyright. My bad. Um Magna using an anti-magic fireball. Seems like even you could drop your guard. Anti-magic chases after the biggest magic power. I'll give you that. That's a good way to adapt a property that actually existed priorly. Yeah, the anti-magic is just it's interesting and it looks cool. It just doesn't make sense in the context of the story. I think if they explained it better, then I'll be with you, but I don't think they explained it well. Kai, this the problem with what you're saying, because the first time we mix anti-magic and magic, obviously people relate back to the dungeon arc regarding Mars. The problem with that situation is it wasn't explained then either. When we saw it then, we've had criticism like, okay, using an anti-magic sword and he's inputting magic and then using it. Like how? How is anti-magic property getting amplifying magic? We never knew. It didn't really make sense. It was never explained, and then they're just like, "Oh, we did it before, so we could do it again." That's not how it works. You got to explain how it works and make it make sense on how an anti property is mixing with a another property. It like there's a disconnect there. Too bad magic can't protect you from this. And then it looks cool for an like it's just cool. Like it's just a cool thing. I'll give you cool. Secret Black Flame Magic, Soul Chain Tag Deathmatch. This would have been cool, honestly. This would have been so much. This would have like dropped the anti magic, and bro, they could have just. There's so many. The problem. This is what happened. Tabata reached a point where there's such a gap in power that he had to excel the other characters extremely. He had to excel them by a large amount. So the quickest way to do that is use anti magic, right? Because Magda has some cool abilities. Like Soul Chain Tag Deathmatch is fire. Like this is a fire ability. It's just it's tainted with anti magic. Sorry, but I went and took the liberty of making your partner an angel. Oh, good move by Lucius. We sent your buddy packing. All right, that meant nothing. My vast magic power is being divided equally into three. How is he hit with the chain again? Wait, what? So it attached itself to an angel and Lucius, and then they destroyed the angel. How'd they destroy the angel so quickly if the angel has as much magic power as everybody else? Because the magic power is supposed to be spread amongst everybody, so it shouldn't be Lucius's own power. That's not how it works. It should be everybody's power distributed. Okay, some cool scenes. Magna, like this is cool panels. The art is interesting. I'm saying they're doing their thing through a fireball. My regeneration can't keep up because of the anti-magic power. You might be able to gradually chip away at me, but your anti-magic power is also decreasing rapidly. Oh my god, it's Salik. I'm not hand gauge. Salik keeps on doing the same thing, bro. You're not right. Salik, you keep on making up this stuff. And we already had this conversation. No. All I have to do is endure. Salik, I'm not bringing you up. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just not bringing you up. All I have to do is endure for a while, and it'll be over for you. And this is why I'm not bringing up Salik. You keep on saying the same thing over and over, and I don't agree with anything you're saying. Like you're saying stuff that doesn't exist. We both have half our anti magic power remaining. When I'm with this guy holding out. Also, how does like the anti magic soul chain deathmatch work if it's distributing magic? Wouldn't it be distributing anti magic? Wouldn't Lucius get anti magic? How does that work? How does a technique that is used to divide your magic power also have anti magic utilizing the power? Like, how does that work? When I'm with this guy holding out until the end, going slow and steady like that, just ain't my style. Isn't for me. Half and half together is our full power. Oh, this is a cool panel. I'll give you this. This is a cool panel. Not gonna lie. You could literally pull up the manga panel. I mean, just because we've already done this, League. We've done this so many times. The end of the conversation was, well, just wait until they explain it because you had no explanation. That's how the conversation ended. Like, we're not doing this again. Unless they show me something or the explanation, then you're just not right. It is what it is. Hold up. Am I missing something? Oh, this panel. This is a nice panel right here. Black flame, black lightning, cool explosive cannon. Hey, it's a cool panel. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. It's a cool panel. And then Lucius just loses. Straight up. Straight up loses. Tell me now, are the odds still in your favor? And then Luck and Magna win. So this chapter, first chapter came back in 4 months. A Luck and Magna chapter. Cool. Cool. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I read off the chapter Black Clover. Was it a how was the chapter in consideration? We had to wait 4 months. Okay, I guess. Like pretty, pretty. I hate to say it's pretty mediocre considering we waited 4 months, but I'm not. I don't want to be a hater, so I'm just gonna go like fine, fine. It's good. It's good. All things considered. So let's dive into some of my issues with the Black Clover final arc. So the best way for me to do this in terms of my objective breakdown is obviously I went over, and I'm not going to break down the story in itself because I'm not interested in that. My thing is there are glaring questions that I want answered from this final arc. Questions that I think are intricate in terms of the storytelling of the story to make sure that everything makes sense as best as it possibly can be. And the first thing, obviously, the question is, how did Lishetta make Asta? And how did she become cursed? A big portion of the story, when it comes down to it, is that Asta doesn't have magic. Why doesn't have Asta magic? Well, it wasn't explained, so it was inferred by the fan base that it had to be because of his mother. But how did Lishetta, one, become pregnant, and two, how did she become how she was? Because one, it doesn't make sense for her to be born like this, because she would not be able to engage with anybody since the start of everything. So the only way for this to make sense for someone, a very unique type of individual in the Black Clover universe who steals the life force and magic from people, is that if they were cursed. But we never got an explanation on who cursed her. We never got an explanation on how this curse was so powerful to make her like this. And we never got an explanation on how she was able to make a baby. She make Asta. That's hugely important. Everything about Lishetta doesn't make sense in the context of the story because we don't know how any of it happened. So my question is, how did Lishetta make Asta? How is she the way she is? The mother, the one, and it's not just, oh, she's the mother of Asta. It's because the inference is that she's the reason why Asta has no magic. And if Asta had magic, he wouldn't be able to use anti-magic. So the only reason why Asta became the perfect suitor for anti-magic is because he had no magic. And obviously for that, she happened to meet Liabi, and Liabi happened to get anti-magic. So that begs the first question. Lasheta, Asta, that whole situation doesn't make sense. We don't know how it worked. We don't know how it happened. Second question. How did Liabi make anti-magic? As of right now, the inference, because again, it wasn't explained. The inference is Liabi was just super, super angry that he created anti-magic. He was in the 5-leaf grimoire, stayed in there, and his negative emotion just created anti-magic. Anti-magic is such a unique, it's like such a unique ability in the Black Clover universe. It is the antithesis of everything that is Black Clover right now. The entire magical world, the entire power system, and someone, a devil that has no magic, which is also very unique. I don't know. We don't know why Liabi had no magic, because as of right now, we don't know any other devil that had no magic but Liabi. So he was a very unique devil. Why he was, we don't know. And then he was put in the grimoire. That makes sense because we know Lasheta's ability. But he was a no magic devil that happened to create the antithesis of magic. How? Negative emotion just creating something that is against all magical principles doesn't make sense. If they're going to, and a being that has no magic creating any power at all doesn't make sense. This is something that I don't feel like was explained properly from what we've seen. And that's another big question I have to ask regarding the final arc of Black Clover, because all these questions need to be answered. Asta's origin, Asta not having magic, and Liabi creating anti-magic need to explain these portions of the story, because this is the most important embodiment of who Asta is. Anti-magic and not having magic. But those portions haven't been explained. Those portions just haven't been explained as of right now. Black Clover already established you can gain powers from your butt. It's very rare that's already been established. Black Clover's never established you creating any power that is not that out of nowhere. Black Clover, in terms of creating new magical spells, yes, but that's magical spells. That's not a new power that defies magic entirely. That's not a thing. That is purely not a thing. So anti-magic doesn't have a good explanation. Asta does, and his lineage doesn't have a good explanation. Next question is, why did Adremelech let Asta live? Keep in mind that a lot, and I'm going to be talking a lot about Lucius. Best believe, Lucius and his entire plan would have went as smoothly as possible if Asta didn't exist. So Lucius actually knew Asta was a threat very early on, and I'll get back to what I mean. But Asta has been a threat to his future visions and his ability to see the future for a very long time in the series. And him realizing, because he knew that Asta was such a threat that he had to kill him, and he was in charge of Adremelech, it doesn't make sense for Lucius, after he told Adremelech, steal the heart after everything's done. Fine, let Asta beat Lucifaro. I'm with you. I'm here. Why would Adremelech let Asta live? Why would he let the biggest threat to Lucius live? Now, I'll give you this, Tabata. I will give you this. If Adremelech has his own motives and motivations, and he didn't do it because, fine. But it begs the question is, why wouldn't Lucius question Adremelech for not killing Asta? So even that part of it doesn't make sense. Lucius knew Asta was a problem. He went personally to take him out. He had to wait until he got Lucifaro's power, so he had the physical attributes to take him out. When Adremelech had the perfect opportunity to kill him, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it. Why? What? How does that make sense? Why didn't he do it? It didn't make sense to me. See, another issue. Let's keep on going. This is very interesting to me. In terms of Lucius' origin story, which was very bare bones, to be honest, having two souls, I don't know how that made sense to me, because at the very least, when it came to Patry and William, there was a whole situation where, a devil from the past did a reincarnation spell and a soul got put in Patry's body. I'm with that. Great explanation, Tabata. I'm with that wholeheartedly. Why does Lucius have two souls in his body? Does every person who has soul magic automatically have two souls? Like, why is that a thing? I don't. Why is? Oh, I have soul magic, so I have two souls. Like what? Why? Like why is that? I don't understand that aspect at all, to be honest. But I'm like, okay, fine. Let's say I give you that. Okay, Lucius has two souls for some reason. We don't know why. Has soul magic. How was Lucius, who was in a wheelchair, able to take over Astaroth's power? Astaroth, if you don't know who he is, Astaroth is one of the kings of the underworld. He's one of the kings of the underworld. He's one of the strongest devils in the underworld. When it came to Lucifero and Dante, they made a pact. They made a deal. But Dante didn't just take his power. When it came to Xenon and Beelzebub, they made a pact. They made a deal. When it came to Lucius, he just took it. Now, this just hasn't been explained. I might, hey, Tabata, you may explain it later that Astaroth and Lucius are working together. You may explain that at some point. That Astaroth and Lucius is working together. When will you explain that? I have no idea. I have no idea when you'll explain that because Astaroth hasn't been mentioned a single time other than Lucius took his power. So how did he do that? How did that contract went down? What deal did they make? Why would Astaroth be helping Lucius take over the entire underworld? I need all those questions answered. I need them answered, to be honest, because that's big into how Lucius became so freaking OP. In addition to getting the time power and just giving it to Julius and all that stuff, I don't really care about that right now. But that's huge into what's going on. Oh, and Astro, if you want to join up, come up. Do you feel a Black Zotu moment coming with Astaroth? Maybe. I wouldn't even be against or Adremelech, maybe. It would be kind of weird. That's still what I said earlier about Adremelech not killing Asta. Is still kind of weird, but maybe. He's the most talented out of the siblings when it came to the Devils. Yes. But just because you're the most talented doesn't mean you automatically can just take over a king of the underworld. Matter of fact, Lucius made it very clear that the only reason why he was able to take over Lucifero is when he only had half his power. The only reason, not only did he have to wait until he was half his power, but also he had to take some of his power. So the only way Lucius was able to take over the underworld and beat Lucifero was taking half of Lucifero's power and obviously having his own power with time magic and soul magic. So a debuff, no time magic, no Lucifero buff, and just soul magic, and you can just take over Astaroth, one of the kings of the underworld. What? I need an explanation. I just need an explanation on how that works. I need an explanation. So that's another big thing. Oh, we got more questions. Don't worry. Next, we got, let me read off what Salik said. Lucius came from a lineage of devil hosts. It's actually pretty common demonology for a body or someone involved that to have two souls. You have to know about I don't care what demonology. You have to, just because something is said in some other book somewhere, it doesn't mean that you don't have to explain it. You just got to explain it. You got to explain it. That's how you write a story. You explain how this works. That's pretty simple to me. Aaron said he's just that guy. Has to be. Aaron, he just has to be that guy. Or Astaroth is not that guy. Astaroth must just be fodder. Like, it's like, I just take your power. And time magic being the most, this is what they said. Time magic being the most unstoppable power, the most powerful magic. That is time magic. The person who had time magic, the most powerful magic, the most unstoppable power, lost to Lucius with soul magic. Like, really? I need an explanation on that. That's kind of crazy to me. With that said, let's move on. How did Asta end up in the land of the sun? How did Asta end up in the land of the sun? It blew me away. One, that Lucius let Lily kill Asta instead of going up to him and killing him with his own hands, knowing that Asta's a huge threat. He lets Lily try to kill Asta. That blew me away right off rip. That's lazy as hell. Terrible planner. But the second part is, how the hell did he get here? How did he get to the land of the sun? It doesn't make sense. One, if you even argue that it was Lily, we got to keep in mind, Lily's never been to the land of the sun. So how would she know to transport him here? Two, when Asta asked Lily if you did it, she said no, she didn't. and she didn't even know Asta was here. So not only has she never been to the land of the sun, but she said she didn't do it. So, like, how did Asta end up in the land of the sun? Are we just gonna assume that? Oh, well, I'm gonna let random come in.
Let me go ahead and pull out. Let me go ahead and pull out. All right.
What's up,
Hold
random?
on. Like, what's going on? What's going on? Let me go ahead and pull out because I'm right there with you, bro. Black Clover got to answer a lot of questions, right? I think I thought there was maybe it was just a theory that I thought that Lily just wanted to send him somewhere safe with the last vestiges of whatever she was before Asa gets sent to the land of the rising sun. But there's a lot. If Black Clover is truly ending next year or whenever it's going to end, even if it's 2 years, there's still so much they have to answer. Whether or not are they really just never say anything about what the hell Charmy is, right? We don't know what Charmy is technically and how
Oh
she.
man, hey, random. I that's on the book too. We're talking about Charmy. That's on the book.
Charmy's one of the most broken characters in that verse. The fact that she can just make you a chicken sandwich and you're ready to fight again is crazy.
Well, that's a magical power. I'm not even mad against that. And also, Sleek, if you're saying that Lily her brain was messed up, so she didn't know, you have no confirmation that Lily sent it here. She said she didn't do it, and she's never been to the land of the sun. How does it make sense that she sent him here? She said she didn't do it. She's never been to the land of the sun. She like what? Like what are we doing here? Like what is going on here? Also, Lucius not knowing that Lily, even if she did, even if I were to grant you, the fact that Lucius didn't know she did it is even worse. That's even worse. And then he sends Lily to the land of the sun. Like that, it gets worse, bro. It gets worse. But
Well,
next question, and I don't want to bounce around. I want to go question by question
mhm,
for random, and you can obviously put your input.
mhm.
Um, regarding because I was oh actually, if you want to put your input, did you hear some of the stuff I said earlier?
Yes, yes, because I was watching the
Okay,
Discord before. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and join in this ass kicking Riddell is giving right now. But the other one was what was it?
Lashetta, her whole lineage doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Ancient,
we gonna need those answers for real. Who's out here risking death to get those cheeks? Those are questions. Unless you're gonna go the Fire Force route and use like a religious aspect,
they would have to explain it because
you're
Fire
gonna have
Force
to
did,
explain that too.
yeah,
So,
where they
um,
just had a baby. I'm like, okay, but you gotta explain it.
so
How
now
did
we
you do that?
now you're saying Lucida is the Virgin Mary. So so then
I
who's
don't know.
who's God? I know you're saying Lucius is God, which is crazy.
Also,
Um,
if Lashetta is the Virgin Mary and she had a magic like surprise kid, why would she get rid of the kid? Like she's the Virgin Mary. Like I had a surprise kid. Wait, what? This must be a
well, I
special kid.
mean, the main reason she gave him up was because she was worried that her ability would kill Asta, right? While he's still a
Yeah,
child.
but if you're like a magic, like a special baby, then I'm like, I don't. At that point, I'll be more curious like how this happened than anything else.
What was the one? Oh, I think I'll accept maybe this answer for why he just didn't. Just didn't kill, not Lucifer. Lucius just didn't kill Asta by himself. I think he wanted the spectacle of having Lily do it. So it's like the worst, technically the worst death he could give Asta, or one of the worst deaths he could give Asta. So it was like It was his ego that did that instead of him. Because I
I'm
agree
not
with you.
even
He
mad
should just
against
done
that.
it.
It's stupid, but I agree that
Yeah,
it
it
could
was
be
like the
illegal.
worst. He was like trying to give Asa like the worst death he could give him, basically. When he
But
could have realistically just done worse.
But random, when I go down how fraudulent Lucius is, I have so much things I'm gonna go down with. This it's gonna make it even worse that he didn't kill Austin in this situation.
Mhm.
Trust me, it's gonna make it
I
worse.
got you.
Um, also the Asta, there's nothing. Asta didn't say that his key was saying that Lily did it. He asked Lily, "Did you do it?" She said no.
I can look it
He,
up if you want.
that's what happened. He asked her if she did it. She said no. Because the only thing that makes sense for someone to do it was Lily, but she said she didn't do it, and she's never been to the land of sun, so doesn't make sense. Um, next, Ria's in seven. They're just fan service characters. They had no depth. They were just introduced. They're just fan service characters.
It's a damn shame. They're all each of them is stronger than a captain.
That's what it seems. Let's see, probably.
Each of them is stronger than a captain. I guess maybe
I don't know about that actually.
Yuno, Yami. I might take those two above. the Yui's
It's
in 7.
it's up in the air, but you're right. They had potential. They were interesting. So like, what's going on? Someone said could have been Beelzebub who sent. So I'm glad you said that, Kai, because I've always had a theory that the only way it makes sense is if Beelzebub did it. But will Beelzebub return the story? That's why it's a question. How did it happen? If we get a Beelzebub explanation, I'm here with you. If not, it's fraudulent. But yeah, Rio's and Seven are fan service characters. And then I
Oh,
said the Land of the Sun, the whole
mhm.
entire arc was a little just a bunch of random lore and story all crammed in the arc. Like it was just a bunch of just new stuff we learned. We learned about their powers. Key was good. Leading up to Key was good. Tengetsu threw me. I still like what? There's a secret ability that could take your magic that gives you the ability to see like everything. That's never been a thing in Black Clover. So that kind of threw me a little bit that something like this exists. And dragons? Okay. Now I was like, dragons existing. It's cool, but I didn't I'm not too mad. I just like just a lot of lore, a lot of new abilities just all crammed in an arc. And I was kind of threw me off. I just wasn't the biggest fan of it. Not saying it's terrible, just wasn't the biggest fan of it. Um, not gonna lie, they let characters live when they should have died. I mean, most of these characters coming back to life. I'm stamping that. I guarantee most of these characters coming back to life. Next thing was, I'm not a fan of the Asta Ichika ship. Not a fan personally. That's just personal preference. I'm not a. I've never been a fan of Asta ships at all, to be honest. That's just me.
I've never been a big fan of Noelle,
I like
and
her
she's the
character.
one. She's the. I like her. I guess her character arc, but like just her as a character, like I never bought into her at all.
I'm
Like
not mad at it because
as being a
I don't really
starter.
like Sundays in general, so I'm not even mad at it.
Hmm.
With that said, next we got, and you guys know he's my favorite character. Yuno. Neverland doesn't make sense. It's way too convenient. Like Yuno never encountered Lucius, right? So how did Yuno create a spell like Neverland? The ability to stop time. He created a perfect counter to Lucius. And even if you want to say it was like 6 or 7 days, creating a spell that OP in 7 days is ridiculous. By the way, that's actually crazy. He that created that spell in 7 days, but creating that spell in 2 years, I think that was the time scale. 2 years, I'm more on board with. But he never met Lucius, so I don't know how he created a spell like this. So you just have to argue, okay, Yuno created in 7 days, even though we didn't see any treating, we didn't see any lead up, we didn't see any how he came up with the concept. He just had the spell. That's just not good writing. Like it isn't. You just can't just have the perfect spell to counteract an opponent you've never met. That doesn't really doesn't make sense. So 7 days enough prep time. We gotta at least see how we came up with the concept. At the very least, if we're saying 7 days isn't enough, I'll be honest. Because that spell, it's more than just, oh, I can control all the time within my Neverland. It's I can control all the time within my Neverland, and I can boost all my allies and make them basically invincible. Like it's such a broken spell. You know what I'm saying? Someone said, okay, I'm not engaging with that. Next was the end of Jack was kind of underwhelming. I'll be honest. Jack dying didn't move me. Didn't move me. Oh, Aaron, you're trolling. How did you feel about the end of Jack? The backstory didn't move me. Him dying didn't move me. Like it just none of it moved me.
Well, I never. I always. I think I do this a lot with a lot of characters. I take them as seriously as the author takes them seriously. So I just besides him being able to cut anything, what was his character? I guess you could say he was Yami's rival, but no, you just didn't buy that. You just didn't buy that at all. So it never moved me. But hopefully you go into what this is leading you into other problems that I had with the final arc. That I'm just wait before I say anything because I think you're gonna touch them. I think what is besides what's going on currently right now, my biggest problem with this entire arc.
Okay, I bet I got you. Got you. All right, next will be Oh, Fuegoleon is useless. Like,
Oh my
he's
god.
actually just useless. He like not only in the Spade invasion arc, he didn't do it. Like, I guess he fought Lucifaro, I guess, but he didn't fight anybody important. He was fighting mid-rank devils the entire time. And then this arc, he's not even helping Marileona. He's just fighting angels. He's useless. He doesn't do anything. I'm like,
If
bro,
Marileona didn't exist, we wouldn't think about that family at all.
yeah, Leopold is
Marileona is
non-existent.
carrying that entire family.
Leopold is non-existent. It's actually insane. Leopold's non-existent. See what you guys are saying about this. Best thing I could say is when the time was stopped when he met Bell. I hate when people bring that up. I know what you're talking about. I mean, Lucius having time magic wouldn't really surprise you. Also, Yuno's power is luck. We gotta accept it. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm not blaming Yuno. I'm just saying that Neverland power is just it's so convenient. It's so convenient.
Booty cheeks. Say it
It's
right. Come on, bro.
Oh, Noel getting the Sea Dragon God was BS. Like, I stand by the Leviathan, the Sea Dragon God. If you were just gonna have a situation where you needed Noel to still have a spirit power up, might as well just kept Undyne. Might as well just kept Undyne. The whole thing where Noel happens to meet Kohana, and Kohana says, "Oh yeah, there's this Sea Dragon God that can give you some crazy power."
And why are they waiting until now to tell
Away,
her?
bruh.
Why they clearly known about the sea dragon for a while? Why are you waiting till now? And you're friends with Noel, whether or not they probably send like some kind of correspondence. You seriously, why did you wait this long to tell Noel that there was this power she could use?
Not only that, like if they built up to it, then I'll be here. But Black Clover has never built up to these supreme creature beings that can bestow you power other than spirits. Like they just haven't really done that because the Sea Dragon God is literally just a spirit. Like, what's the difference between a Sea Dragon God and Undyne? They do the same thing. You just introduced a power up because Undyne had to stay with Lord Pachika. That is literally what Tabata did. You introduce the power up. Now I'll give you in the Sea Temple they keep on mentioning God. I was like, okay, sure, but it was more of a vague terminology compared to an actual setup of gods being something that exists in the series. Devils were properly built up and all that stuff, and they had their story and lineage, but gods weren't not. They just weren't in the story. They were just more vague terms. So yeah, that Noel Levine thing just didn't move me. And
Well,
I'm gonna get down to Lucius, but what were you about to say?
oh, never. I'm just gonna keep waiting. I'm gonna keep waiting because I thought you were gonna say what I want you to say, but keep
Okay,
going.
I got a couple more. The Dorothy stuff. Dorothy's useless as well. She just doesn't do anything. Not gonna lie.
I really like. I was so intrigued by her every like in the beginning. I was like, okay, so she sleeps, but like I want like it's one of those where I'm like, all right, so when she wakes up, she has to be a freaking monster. The
Yeah,
reason why Seven Deadly Sins held off on Escanor, just didn't give it to us right away. Escanor was this mysterious thing, and then you're like, wait, he's the strongest. Then when you first meet him, and then when you see that gimmick, I'm just using gimmick as a relative term. I'm not saying that, but like his gimmick, so to speak, is amazing. That's why we love Escanor. To have that, you could have had something. I'm not saying you could have had something like that with Dorothy, but no,
I agree.
she's
She
just
never became a character. All she did is, oh yeah, Nozel actually. Um, she talked a little bit about Nozel, the curse of Megicula, and then not much. She didn't do anything in the Morse fight. She didn't, she, and her ability is so great, bro. Matter of fact, oh, this kind of blows me away. They set up a whole thing with Dorothy trying to create a spell to seal devils in the dream world, and didn't do nothing with it. It's like, bro, what? Uh, what else? Oh yeah, I'm waiting on that because I'm gonna kill Lucius, bro. I'm gonna destroy him. And then the fumble of the Supreme Devils. The Supreme Devils fumble is so depressing to me. They had so many interesting opportunities to make these devils like serious, like Espada type villains for the series, and they
mm,
just made them powers for current characters. Like that's all they did. We had the names, we had Adremelech, we had Ball, we had Beelzebub, we had Astaroth, and they just became powers
So
for
why is it
other
about? I was
characters.
gonna ask you, why is it Drumlick just chilling?
I don't even know what he's doing. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I have no idea.
Like the first time he doesn't kill Asta, I was like, okay, I'm gonna let this go because this is clearly for the plan, right? That's clearly for the plan because it doesn't make any sense why you just don't pull up there, murk Asta real quick. Like the one thing that could stop you when they're weaker. Oh Jesus Christ! But I'll let that one go because it's for the plan.
I don't know
And
what
then
plan at
now
this
you're just
point.
not using what is arguably your greatest asset besides yourself.
Yeah, I don't know what plan they plan to do. Next was the fumble with Charmy. We have no idea what the dwarves are. We have no idea how Charmy, why Charmy is half dwarf and how she kind of met Yami. Also, how she went to the land of the sun at some point. We don't know how she did that either.
I think that's one of her descendants, one of her ancestors. Not this. Yeah, it's one of her ancestors.
That looks exactly like Charmy.
It's like one of her ancestors. I think that's where they're gonna go with.
Uh, uh,
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it's not questionable. But I think the way they're gonna explain that is like one of her ancestors did it.
I don't think they're going to explain it at all, to be honest.
By the way, that's a really bad job if you don't explain what Charmy is. What are the dwarves? Why? What is she one of the last ones? If not, where is this race that's just sitting there while the world is in danger? Unless you're about to ass pull them at the final moment of this final arc.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I'm waiting to see Drumlick. I don't have other than Drumlick not killing Asta, I don't have any big things regarding a Drumlick as of right now. The corruption with Yami Lani, I feel like they probably still will use that part to kind of defeat Morgan, but we'll see regarding that. But now time to talk about Lucius, bro. Bro, Lucius. I had so much high stocks and my stocks plummeted, bro, like Bitcoin, not gonna lie. Because when Lucius talks about his plan and everything he's done regarding his visions, first thing is first, when it comes down to Yuno, he said this version of Yuno, oh, so I gotta make sure I get the screenshot too, because he said something to kind of call out him on his inconsistencies. He talked about that this version of Yuno shouldn't be the strongest. That's what he said, like later on in the arc. He shouldn't be the strongest. It should be the version of Yuno who grew up in the Spade Kingdom, is what he said. That's supposed to be the strongest version of Yuno. Earlier in the manga, Lucius says, of the tens of thousands of futures I foresee, there's just one where they have the advantage. The key to it is the singularity with two grimoires, one from the spade and the other with the four-leaf clover. The child of an elf leader, Sylph's chosen one, and the rightful heir to the Spade Kingdom. So on one sentence, he says, oh, the strongest version is supposed to be the one at the Spade Kingdom. Earlier in the series, he says, oh no, the strongest is the one with the two grimoires. Which is it, Lucius? Which one is it? Which one is the strongest version of Yuno? The one, the Spade Kingdom, or the one with the two grimoires?
I guess, does that mean that the one from the Spain Kingdom also has two grimoires?
No, because he never went to the Clover Kingdom to get the Wind Grimoire. He needed to go to.
So he has to leave the kingdom. So he just can't get.
Yeah, because Lucius said that's the one that stayed in the Spade Kingdom and mastered Star Magic. Or I don't think he said master Star Magic, but honed his Star Magic.
Oh, so when he talks to his family, and then his mom's like, "Hey, you want to stay?" And then that's the one.
No. In a different version of the future, Yuno never leaves the Spade Kingdom and becomes extremely powerful. That's the strongest version of Yuno. That's what Lucius said later on in the series.
So unless we're supposed
Lucius
to
can see multiple futures.
That's what I'm thinking.
So the future where Yuno is the biggest threat that he said as of recently, and you're right, Aaron, it had to be information overload.
I thought those like
in the most recent chapters, Lucius said the strongest version, because this version of Yuno shouldn't be this strong. The strongest version should be the one that was at the Spade Kingdom. That's supposed to be the strongest version. But then he talks about another one where he talks about that this one is the key, the one with the two grimoires. So that's the problem here. The problem is he's talking about the Spade one is supposed to be the strongest one, but he also talked about earlier that the one with the two grimoires is the most important one.
So okay. So let's look at the adjectives that describe or strongest versus the key. So he may be right. The one that never leaves the Spade Kingdom is the absolute strongest. We're talking. This is Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? Right.
So
But
I
the
want to
one
no
with
no
two
no no. I want to
grimoires
be
has the
clear.
key.
He said there's one future they have the
Okay.
advantage. That
Okay.
one future they have the advantage is the one with the two grimoires. Now I'm gonna get
Okay.
the exact quote because I hear what you're saying, but
Uh-huh.
it's still an inconsistent. But I'll get you the exact quote just so we're
Mhm.
both on the same page. Hold on. Because when I saw this, it blew me. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Okay. He said, in my predictions, the world in which Yuno was strongest was the one where he steadily acquired power in the Spade Kingdom, which never had a rebellion. Even that Yuno needed several years to master star magic. He said this can't be right because this was supposed to be the strongest version. That's what he says, like recently in the manga. But early on in the series, he said the one future where he's a problem is the one with the two grimoires. He contradicts himself. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like he legit contradicts himself. Lonnie, what's up?
Real quick, because that part that you were talking about, I felt that what he was trying to say was, well, Lucius was, even though it was done poorly and written poorly, that out of all the, because this is like the only future or only timeline that he can't foresee in, but he can somehow see all the other ones. And he was saying that like the strongest, out of all the other timelines was the one where he stayed in the where he stayed in the Spade Kingdom, and that it took him longer to be as proficient with the star magic than what Yuno is at right now. That Yuno is actually even better.
So Lonnie, the problem is there's a problem there. He said verbatim, of the tens of thousand futures I foresee, there's just one where they have the advantage. The key to it is the singularity with the two grimoires. So he
Right,
said he saw the one with the two grimoires. That's what he said.
right. But
So
we
he
also know that
saw the one with the two
this current
grimoires.
timeline, like I guess no other timelines have Asa existing. This is the only
No,
timeline where
yeah,
Asa
that's
exists.
the problem. Now he says he can't see it, but now he's saying he saw the one with two grimoires, and then another time he said the strongest one was with with the Spade Kingdom. He's contradicting himself. That's the problem.
No,
Maybe.
he kind of is. And like the writings, but I'm just saying I think that this is what he was trying to say, even though it was just on poorly, and it is a contradiction that the one with the Spade Kingdom is like where the strongest exists. And he's like, why is this stronger than this one?
But the problem is, he said the
And then
only
it's
one
like,
with
oh,
the
it's because of
advantage is
Asta.
the one with the two grimoires. So that has to be the strongest one. That's the only one they have the advantage. The one with the two grimoires. So that's why it's like you can't even kind of like help him here. Because he doesn't know what he's talking about. That's
Yeah,
what it sounds like to me. Because
no,
if he would have,
it's whack. It's whack overall. But again, like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's because of Asta. So I don't know. That's
but then
just
that's the thing. Oh, Lonnie, I'm glad you said that. But that's the worst part of it. He says he can't see this timeline. So that's the worst part of it. He's saying all this stuff, but can't see this timeline.
because of Asta, which doesn't. I don't. Because it's not like Asta has effect on like. It's not like he has like anti time magic. I don't know. It's not like I don't know. Like the fact that like Asta's existence is the whole sole reason why he can't see this timeline doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense, and the reason why it doesn't make sense is because the Queen of the Witches can see the future where Asta's in, and Ryu can see a future where Asta's in it. So we have two people who can see a future where Asta's in it, but Lucius, who has Astaroth's time magic, can't. Like what? And keep in mind, also y'all got to keep in mind, Lucius and this entire situation he knew about since the beginning of the series. And this is what I mean.
Mhm.
He's named several things that didn't make sense. Noel being this strong, being this strong, but worst of all, he said Fuegoleon shouldn't be here. He should be dead. There is only one instance where Fuegoleon should have been dead. That is the Royal Capital arc with Patri.
When
He
he
should
lost
have
his
been
arm,
dead super early in the series. So Lucius should have known this whole timeline was messed up since the beginning of Black Clover. And this dude
Riddell's kind of cooking right now.
Oh, it's fun. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
and
what are you
can I
talking
just say
about?
real quick, why does like his sister why does his sister try to compare herself to him? She's always been stronger. He has never been on her level. To me, he has never been on like she's like literally like one. She's the closest thing to being like one with Mana. Like
Maybe
she's like
it's the
Mana
fact.
personified.
That's
Maybe it's the
probably because of
fact
how he
that it's
connects with
other
people.
things. Maybe
Yeah.
because Fulgarian is better for the family in terms of actually leading the family than Mereoleona is. Mereoleona just loves to fight.
Yeah, but it's like it's almost like the fact that like she's like her power like doesn't come from like normal
Oh,
like how
she's
other
absolute cheat code
mortals.
in the world. She's
Yeah, it's like
absolute cheat code.
it's like she's literally like one with Mana to the point where it's like she understands it like to a ridiculous like it's like how like Gojo or Sukuna like they found like the true meaning of cursed energy. She found like the true meaning of Mana, and so like the fact that like she even compares herself to other people because if Julius doesn't exist, she would be Wizard King.
She
Oh
would
yeah.
turn it down at
Well,
least.
no, they
She
asked
would
her
at
to be
least turn it
Wizard King.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they
but she
asked her
would
to be
turn it
Wizard
down. But I'm
King.
saying
She turned
she's
it down.
at that level.
No, she's 100% at that level. Also, I want to keep it. I want everybody to kind of keep this in mind. So Lucius was also lying about seeing this future, talking about how he saw this one key world. So he was lying about that. 2, he knew that the whole future was messed up since Fuegoleon didn't die at the beginning, like early on in the series. And 3, if he knew, oh, Rio can't see the future. Rio literally knew that Asa was going to show up. What do you mean you can't see the future?
That's what his eye does.
Can I
That's
make
why
a
you
hot
can't.
take real quick?
That's why you can't use any other magic but that.
Like he was literally when they were fighting the dragon, he created a plan because he could see the future and inputted Asta into the plan. Like that's his whole thing about seeing the future. So when it comes down to Lucius, so everything was messed up from the beginning, and him lying about seeing the future and all that stuff. So it makes it even worse that he didn't kill Asta. The amount of times he had the chance to kill Asta. Dremlek not killing Asta made absolutely no sense. And you not taking out Asta when you met him again later on and let Lily did it made no sense. And when
that's the only one I can excuse is the second one. Because it was his ego. It was his ego.
Y'all just made me think of like a hot take, and like it's still forming in my brain, but she would have been in a lot of ways a better antagonist to Asta than Julius because the fact that she's like so one with Mana and like a lot of ways you can like argue if they did some of the things in the story different.
Oh,
and they angled it better.
You're talking about okay,
like
Mereoleona.
Mereoleona, she could have been like a better antagonist because she's like because he's technically anti-mana and like he's the irregularity in the world.
I'm about to say he's like an anomaly.
In a lot of ways, she's like a lot of ways she's one with the world. So
well, actually, that person is actually Yuno. Yuno is the one. Like she's trying to do something that Yuno is going to do. So that they're just showing.
I agree.
Yeah, they're just showing.
By the way, they nerfed her like crazy.
But in another universe, like she would be like trying to bring order to the world, and Asta would be that irregularity in that in the world that she would have to eliminate.
Absolutely.
In another type of story and stuff like that. I feel like she would be a different type of. She would be like the angel to like the demon that Asta is. Just like
Mereoleona more resembles humanity to its finest because of how she wants to acquire power. And she doesn't do it in a malicious way like the old royals. She does it on her own. She goes independent. She goes out the world and becomes like probably the best version of like you can considering the circumstance.
She could be a tragic hero or villain because like she doesn't want to do this, but she has to. At least like something's compelling her to do it.
If the story was different, like they could have angled her like that.
Yeah, but now we're creating a whole different story at this.
That's not her character because she's just cares about
because that's not how she's being characterized. I guess let me say this. I think I'm pretty sure you're gonna get into this later, Riddell, but I can't wait anymore. So we've been hearing about these different people, whether it's Noelle's mom or obviously, we're still waiting for Asta's dad because I just need to know the man who's risking death for those cheeks. I need to know.
He's never going to get introduced. I guarantee you.
If it ain't Julius, then I don't know.
But then you have obviously Morgan with Yami, and they're like the Noelle. First of all, Noelle fighting her mom. How could you just get it done in like 3 chapters? How could you like resolve that situation that quickly? Like we don't even see Noelle put up a fight. We just see the aftermath. It's like you're sprinting through things. Like you've been talking about this strategy, this whatever's been going on, the Noelle dynamic since damn near the beginning of the series. right? Basically, imagine if My Hero Academia just resolves a Todoroki arc without ever showing anything. We just get the end where Shoto has beaten Dabi, and that's it. That's basically what they did to the Noel family, the Noel family storyline. Like we needed
It's
to
like
see,
the climax of her story, and they just made
yeah,
it.
and he
To
just
be
rushed it.
fair, just to play the to be fair, I would say her climax to her story was defeating Megicula with Nozel. That's probably all I'd say the climax story. This is just a random piece, like bringing her mother into it.
If
But
you're
I
gonna
would say
do
her story
that,
is already
then
complete.
give it the importance that it deserves. That's why That's my biggest problem. If you're gonna introduce her
Yeah,
like that, then give it the respect it deserves.
It's just a fan service thing, to be honest. A lot of the things, like Morgan coming back, Asier coming back, that's all just fan service stuff. Not gonna lie.
But now it
I
opens
feel
up
like
all these questions that we all are asking.
the significance of her mom coming back is almost like her looking at herself in the mirror and like, oh, this was like the level I was supposed to reach, or this is supposed to be like the apex of like my family, and I need to reach above that. So it's just like I feel like that could have been handled a lot better.
It definitely could have been. Whether or
Because
not
like
it's
that's like her surpassing her idol,
Mhm.
and they just made that quick. They
And
didn't make it as
it's not
meaningful as
even
it could.
just for Noelle, Lonnie. It's also for the rest of her siblings. Like maybe what if they have that actual conversation like, hey, I understand that I have to kill you, but like Nozel, maybe she's like, I'm proud of what you ended up doing with our family. I understand that Noelle was like a sacrifice, but I'm proud of how you kind of
Well,
kept the
Asier's
family
story's not
together.
done. Like they're still gonna fight.
Yeah,
That's,
I
that,
but yeah, also to the fact that like her like surpassing the staple of her family, and then like fully like I feel like yeah they acknowledged her and her family has acknowledged her at this point, but like for her to like prove to herself like hey I am like I am the next step for this family. I'm not like the worst of the family. I'm the next step for this family, and her overcoming her mother that could have been a lot more impactful.
it could have
I
just
would
been a
say they
way
could
to give
probably still
Nozel
they probably still can do a lot of this stuff. I'll be honest.
when like right
I'm just
before they die, like you're gonna get, like how they did Sister Lily. But Sister Lily, are they not going to disappear? Because Sister Lily's the only one who didn't die, who
Well,
wasn't
that's because
dead.
Sister Lily wasn't already dead. So what
Yeah.
happens with because they did everything with Asier, because that's why when Megicula was defeated, Asier's spirit was right in front of Nozel and Noel. That's why this current stuff that's happening is just kind of fan service stuff because Asier's back, they're gonna fight the sibling because they already finished Nozel and Noel's story. Like Solid acknowledges Noel, Nebra acknowledges Noel, Nozel acknowledges Noel. We all like Noel's story is technically finished. This is just some extra stuff, is how I'm seeing it. I
He's
also
gone in
don't know
time so she
how
confesses.
Noel can beat Asir. It doesn't really make sense for anybody to beat them unless you give them bullshit anti magic. So that's probably what's gonna happen. Also, anti magic sucks. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense. It's just
But yeah, when I
ridiculous.
read those spoilers, I was like, oh, and I let you know immediately, like, you are not going to like this chapter.
Is
Yeah,
the chapter out on the app yet, or is it?
not on the app. It comes out on the app, I think, Sunday. Yeah,
Sunday,
Sunday.
yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna turn my brain off when it comes to the anti magic stuff. It just doesn't make sense to me. I will say this: when they used Death Chain anti magic, my first thing was like, okay, Death Chain allows you to distribute all the magic between the individuals. Why are you not distributing the anti magic between the individuals? I don't like why you're not doing that. Like, if we're just trying to be consistent with how anti magic doesn't make sense, like, shouldn't anti magic be distributed to Lucius?
The way it
I
was
don't know.
explained, it's like you have these two special slots if this was a fighting game and you only get to use them once. Like two, like what, like when you read it, Riddell, right when you started, it's like you have two chances. You can use anti magic with two big moves, and that's it.
Yeah, the
So I'm like,
problem with it is that Luck kept on using it. Like, you can use it in a bunch of like when it comes to magic battles, for the most part, it's always a bunch of moves and two big moves. Like, you're not saying anything. Like, let's be honest, you're not saying anything. You're just like, oh, two big moves. Like, that's how all fights are. Like, they a bunch of cut moves, and then when you make the critical move, it's time to win.
mhm.
Like, what? Like, okay, like what are we saying? We're not saying anything. So they're trying to make you think that there's some type of drawback, but there's none. There's really not. There's not a drawback. So yeah, it's just it's kind of weird. And Lucius, I'll give Lucius this: his entire plan is fucked up. He lied about seeing the future. He couldn't kill Asta like 3 different times, and he's still confident he's about to win. Hey man, hey, the W
W ego, I
confidence.
guess.
W confidence. Still think you're gonna win after your entire everything that you're doing just keeps on failing. Okay, respect.
Realistically, so what did they have to do now? By the way, isn't Seke part of Jack's guild?
Yeah,
He's gonna be the next captain of that guild.
unfortunately.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, not a lot of great stuff, but like I said, there's a Black Clover final arc was just not good. It's just
How
not.
many more chapters do you think we're gonna get?
Didn't he
A
say it was
lot
gonna
more.
end in a year?
No, a lot more. Literally, we waited 4 months for a chapter, and all we got is a Magna Luck fight against a Lucius clone.
The chapter didn't even seem that much bigger than normal.
There's 25 pages. It's gonna take more than a year, or it's about. I bet
We're only getting 4 chapters a year from
yeah, it's
now
like
on.
3 years, maybe
Oh,
3,
Jesus
bare
Christ!
minimum.
If you keep them up to the same, how long do you feel the chapters need to be for waiting 3 months between chapters?
50 pages.
Monthlies are usually like 30 to 40 pages.
Yeah, 4 months. It needs to be 50 pages at least. Like, come on, what are we doing? 50 pages at least for 4 months.
I
That's
know
crazy.
some monthlies have like 40 to 50 pages. Some
Yeah, Attack on
monthlies.
Titan always had a good amount every month.
So
Boruto too.
all right, so now let's look at this. What exactly does Black Clover have to fix, Riddell, in your opinion? Since you're the one who was the highest dissatisfaction with this, what do they have to do to make you feel happy with this final arc?
Well, anti-magic, I doubt they'll ever be able to explain that properly. But give a better explanation on anti-magic and how that makes sense. Give an explanation on Lishetta, which I think they will low key because I'm guessing she comes back in the story as a paladin. To be honest, it's also kind of crazy how many paladins with archangels were defeated. Beelzebub with Lily, Beelzebub, one of the kings of the underworld, was already defeated. It's actually nasty. Kings of the like this was supposed to be a king of the underworld, and that character was already defeated. Kind of crazy, but I think Lishetta will come back in the series and probably give us more explanation, hopefully, regarding Asta and Liebe's anti magic. Maybe that will help. Dwarves
It
might
makes
be
sense
tough
for Lucius to bring
for Lishetta. It
to
would
bring
make
him
sense.
to bring her back.
Maybe let his trump his card against Asta. Maybe I guess. But
PTSD. That's
The
crazy.
Yami
for
thing needs
Liebe
to,
at the very least,
the
not
Yami
Asta.
and Golden Dawn captain that whatever corruption thing happened to them in the previous arc, we need to figure out what the significance of that was.
How are you gonna really handle the
William is probably
Ichika?
just not gonna lie. I don't think
Yeah,
he's doing anything.
yeah. How are you gonna handle the Ichika Yami reunion, especially now that Ichika's found out that she was the one that was the problem instead of Yami?
Yeah, I'm expecting Tabata to do that fine. So that's not a big thing on my list. Next would
Charmy.
be Lucius. Lucius, his goal, how he got Astaroth, and his goal, how he got Astaroth. Obviously, Astaroth agreeing to the contract or whatever. How all that worked, and then anything else regarding Lucius? I guess
I
those are
want
the
to.
big two.
I
Oh,
want to
why
know
he
who
didn't kill
Asta's
Asta
dad is.
earlier? Well, Adremalike didn't kill Asta. I don't know. That's kind of pissing me off. Oh, what were you saying, Lonnie?
Dremlick is like the final villain.
I'm saying I
He's
want
just
to know
waiting
who
for
Asta's
Lucius
dad
to
is.
lose, and then he like swoops in and becomes like the final villain.
Weird final villain. Not gonna lie. But what were you saying?
I said I want to know who Asta's dad is because like that still stuck in my head.
That's not happening.
When his mom told Libby, not all demons are bad or whatever, and like the way that it was worded, it's like she was talking from experience. So I was just like, what the fuck did she do? Like,
Sleeping with a demon is crazy. I don't know.
His
Hey, 'cause she
dad's
said,
dead,
hey,
right?
she's like,
If his
take it
dad's
from
been
me.
alive, I'm gonna need you to explain the fuck out of that.
Yeah, because
explain
she
the
said
hell
like,
out
take
of
it from me. Or she said like, I know from experience, like not all demons are bad. Like the way and that like so she said that like from like she made it like however the sentence was structured, it was like from past experience. She's saying that hey, not all demons are bad. So not all devils are bad. So that means you had some type of encounter before Libby, which would probably mean Asta's dad. I need some type of explanation for that.
I'm with you. For me, in terms of peak enjoyment, because a lot of the story's cooked, but if you give a good explanation on Lucieta, anti-magic, and Lucius acquiring his powers, if you get a good explanation on that, even though a lot of his time like visions have been trash, the way you can come full circle for me as just an enjoyer, like I'm gonna stop criticizing your story. This is my theory. This is something I already said. This is Tabata. You might be cooked, but you can bring it back. You can create a new dish. You can create a new dish. Here. Hey,
This is crazy.
final villain should be Yuno. And this is how it should work. Lucius wants to turn Yuno into a paladin. He tried it. It didn't work. So we know eventually Lucius wants to put Yuno probably is going to become a paladin. How I see it is Yuno, especially being one with mana, being one with magic, being the chosen one, so to speak, is the perfect embodiment of exactly what Lucius wants. So Yuno ends up becoming not only the perfect version of Lucius's ideal, but also the one to possess, I would say, the three most powerful powers in the Black Clover universe: gravity, spatial, and time magic. So Yuno actually overcomes Lucius, becomes that perfect individual, becomes the one that will change the magical world forever and take over all of magic, because Yuno is the chosen one. And after he does that, the only one that stands in his way will be Asta. Yuno versus Asta. Final battle to end Black
you're
Clover,
telling me
I'll be here.
he's just gonna steal All for One's plan.
What do you mean?
He's just gonna steal All for One's plan.
Who's
I'm
stealing
sorry,
All for
no,
One's plan?
I kind of agree with.
That's not
Riddell,
who's
though.
stealing All for One's plan.
I do kind of agree with Riddell. Yuno and Asta have to like duke it out one time. They really do. Like we really need to see like who's.
That's true. They've never like truly fought.
They tried
ever.
teasing it.
Yeah,
they tried
never
teasing
fought.
it in the Black Clover movie. They've had like little like one-off, like little one-shots at each other throughout the series. We need to figure out who's him. Like,
watch Tabata.
That'd be like, yo,
watch
whoever
Tabata
wins
straight
this
hoe.
next,
I'm not gonna hold
it can really be whoever wins this is the next Wizard King kind of thing. Like, hey, like we're both up to be the Wizard King. Whoever wins this fight is the Wizard King type shit.
I legitimately think Yuno's gonna be named the Wizard King anyway, and Asta's gonna go do something else.
Possibly, but my thing is the reason why I wouldn't say this is All for One, because All for One only cared about himself. He wanted to use Shigaraki as a tool for his own needs to create a different body. My thing is Lucius. I actually had this theory before all this stuff happened, that Lucius's whole plan was to create the perfect humans, the greatest humans, and like he's kind of doing that, so to speak. But the perfect embodiment of everything that Lucius wants, to create humans that are on par with all the other magical beings, especially devils, to create a being that will truly find peace, especially considering all the discrimination that happens in the Black Clover universe. That person is Yuno. So Yuno just will be the embodiment of everything that Lucius wants. So that would be different from what All for One wants. And All for One did. What's up, Nahari? That's how you save the final arc for me. You make the proper final build.
I gotta pack up to head back home, so I'll see y'all later.
All right, man. Stay safe, bro.
See y'all later.
So let's. The reason why I'm saying All for One, obviously, I'm only saying that because of similarities. Now he's not going to do exactly everything.
All for One's a fraud.
All for One's an absolute fraud, but
bona fide fraud.
I'm talking in terms of him taking over. I'm not going to say his protege, but like taking over someone, and then through that new someone who's been technically groomed by the world, so to speak, or whatever, or by himself or the world, and he takes him over, and that's how he becomes the final villain. Like first, because that's technically all for One was trying to do was get to Shiggy and take Shiggy over, and then he was going to be the guy to fucking rule the world. That's why I'm saying he's trying to steal All for One's plan, not the whole plan, but he clearly taking the Spark Notes version of it.
I don't know. Also, I don't know what quantum entanglement is. I don't know what that is. But Astro, Nahari, y'all got anything to say about Black Clover's final arc?
Nah, I don't got really nothing to say. I'm just getting in because I'm an anime only type of a guy, so I like to watch the anime. But it's been like 2 years, so I'm starting to get into the manga way more. I'm reading the manga right now, so I don't really got too much to say about the final arc. I just love Black Clover, man. It's my favorite Lucius, so I'm happy he's getting some love.
Hey
He
man,
gets
I'm
a
with
lot of
you.
hate.
I thought Black Clover was better than My Hero, and then the final arc happened. So I'm with you. I'm with you.
That end of
Hey,
that spade, the end of that spade arc was like peak Clover. That's when I
It
was
was so great. It was such a great
so
ending.
great.
Oh, don't spoil it for it. Oh wait, I don't know if you. Yeah, don't
Yeah,
spoil it for
that's
him.
all I'll say. It
Yeah.
was peak Clover. That's when
yeah, I'm watching the Spade arc. Yeah, I'm reading the Spade arc right now. So far, I'm loving it, man. So
that's
I'm gonna
when Black
continue.
Clover was at its what it was at its best. That's where we were having conversations about My Hero. We need you to we need you to shape up. We need you to shape up for
I'm
real.
not gonna lie, my hero been kind of lacking because these last couple seasons, man, been kind of mid. Like I thought season 5 was just not it, and
Well,
season 6 was cool. Like it
they
was mid.
fumbled the My Villain Academia arc. Like in the
They
manga,
fumbled.
it's very good. So that's why they fumbled season 5. Season 6, it was actually a lot better than I thought with My Hero.
Yeah,
A lot better than I thought.
I do want to address this point. So people keep on saying this, even though this they are trying to so hard to like justify anti magic. The whole idea that anti magic and magic can intertwine and still work
It's crazy.
doesn't make any sense. The whole thing regarding anti magic is it's the antithesis of magic, and that is what it is. So even if you want to argue that the antithesis of a property and a property are able to intertwine, those properties are supposed to either, at the very least, neutralize one another. That's the bare minimum. They're supposed
it
to be
doesn't
neutralize
it
one another.
doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's the one part I never got about Black Clover. The whole anti-magic thing, it doesn't make sense because sometimes it like completely shuts down magic, and then sometimes it's like useless. Like it's weird. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So let's be clear: if anti magic at any point is making magic stronger or changing magic properties, that makes absolutely no sense. That doesn't make sense. I don't know how you change the property of something else being the antithesis of the thing.
Right.
Like what? So yeah, it's just
It's
like
tough. Now we have to wait three more months.
Yo, random. You said
exactly when
the end of the
antimatter and
spade.
matter collide, they annihilate. Like they're
Yeah.
not supposed to be intertwining with one another.
So you said that the end of the spade arc is peak Black Clover. What's peak My Hero to you?
Probably the was it a tournament? The sports festival.
Season 2? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I was gonna say that too because that was like that same season they had fought Stain. That was My Hero's best season by far, in my opinion.
I'm
Season
not mad
2.
at it.
I
I'm not
think the season 3 is I think season 3 is good. But then but I've already said my own problems with the goddamn My Hero Academia story. So
Yeah, that season 3 was so underwhelming, especially All for One versus All Might. Yeah, that was a very underwhelming fight. It kind of reminded me of like, did y'all watch Bleach or watch all the Bleach?
Yeah.
I am not watched Bleach.
Okay, but well, to the people who did watch, I'm not gonna spoil it, but Ichigo versus Aizen, it reminded me of that because they built the fight up, right? They built it up for seasons upon seasons for the final fight to be super underwhelming. That's what it reminds me of. It was just not it.
Well, damn. Anything else, Riddell?
Bro, you said antimatter and matter intertwine. What are you talking about? That's not a thing. What do you mean antimatter and matter intertwine? I've never heard that being a thing.
So is that the other outcome of what he's saying? So if
So
they don't
people are trying to
annihilate, they
make this
intertwine.
argument that antimatter and matter, because of how they work, antimatter and matter, when they interact with one another, they completely counteract one another. They literally can't interact with one another. They are incapable of interacting with one another. So I don't I don't know what you're talking about here. Because that's the whole point of anti-magic and magic. How is anti-magic coding magic? Like it's still touching the magic. How is something coding something without touching it? Like you're just trying to use a bunch of terminology that doesn't make sense because regardless, they're still interacting. The properties are combining to utilize the properties that exist. Matter of fact, Ichika was talking about pseudo anti-magic. So they're utilizing it as properties that currently exist, meaning they had to interact and combine. So yeah, it's just it's a lot. It's a lot of reaching to try to justify what's going on right now. Not gonna lie. It's cooked. That's why I need a better explanation for anti-magic. But yeah, that's all I got for oh, actually, let me do this so I can make a TikTok out of it because there's no way I'm doing this properly. But anti-magic doesn't always have to nullify it. Can if Asta wants to. Oh no! But at the very least, it can't empower it. It can't combine with it. That's the another other parts of it.
This is like science stuff, so I don't know. I'm just PL. Like, is this something from like science? Is that what they're going with now? That's just what I'm confused about in terms of the antimatter.
As soon as antimatter touches matter, it blows up. I'm done talking to you, PL. Not gonna lie. That's literally I don't know what you're trying to say. Like they literally, I don't know how you say what. I don't. Maybe you're using.
So unless you're saying they're just laying, barely touching, they're not even touching. Oh,
like it doesn't work. Like I don't know what we're doing here, PL. Unless you know something I don't. I'm not saying they're touching. Okay, I'm good.
So are you saying they're just like a little bit of sliver in between? Is that what he's trying to say?
I don't know how that
on top of each other with some space.
How is anti-magic just having a sliver of space between the magic in their like what? See how much reaching they got to figure out to justify what is going on? That's some crazy reaching. That's some insane reaching.
Wow, how about that?
That's some insane reaching. That's some insane reaching.
I'm not gonna lie, I want to say another take. This might be a hot take, but y'all know how the Yuno, right? His character got completely ruined when they made him the Prince of the Spade Kingdom, bro. I'm like, bro, what is this, bro? So everything they was talking about, like him being a villager, right? That normally villagers don't really have power and everything like that. That completely ruined his character. I'm like, what is this, bro? So now he's
about this for Dell.
I don't agree because his impact.
You don't agree?
No, his impact is still made. At the end of the day, what he did as a person, as a commoner and everything.
But it don't. He's not a commoner though. He's not.
He's not a commoner.
But he's not.
No,
now.
he's not though.
Bro, what is yo?
Riddell.
No. It doesn't make sense
talked
to
about
me
this.
how people kind of come up with this assessment that everything you did in the past is irrelevant once we find out.
No, we're not saying that.
No,
we're not saying that.
Exactly what.
No. We're just saying it's not going to hit the same.
What you're saying?
It doesn't
hit
the same.
It's not hitting the same.
That is exactly what you're saying.
But he's a spade. So he was always going to be this extra strong person, right? The whole point was villagers usually don't even have strong magic. So the fact that he was a normal commoner, right, and he was so strong, that was inspiring, bro. Now that we found out he's a Spade Kingdom Prince, bro, it doesn't hit the same at all, bro.
But he was never a normal person. He was an orphan. That's the whole thing about you.
Yeah, but people didn't know his back.
We don't know where he came from. That was the whole thing.
If his backstory was that he just there was a family.
The problem is people have y'all are messing. Yuno had no proper origin, so
we just got his origin. His origins that he's a prince.
Yuno had no proper origin. Yuno was an orphan, meaning you could have came from anywhere. The problem with the Black Clover universe is the discrimination based off titles without knowing the person. They just was like, he was a commoner from the Forsaken Realm. Regardless of who you are, you came from there, so you are scum. That is a whole thing regarding the Black Clover universe that they had to fix. The problem with this situation is the problem with that entire dynamic is even if someone was an orphan, and it proved the case to even with William, who came from a noble, that even if you're an orphan, you're treated like crap. Regardless of, or even if you came from a great lineage, you're treated like crap because of where they think you came from. They're trying to break that perception of the entire time, and Yuno did break that perception.
He did until they find out he was a royal.
Nothing changed after you found out he was royal.
No, hold on. This is what I'm trying to say, Bulls fan. Hold on a second. This is what I'm trying to say. All right. I'm gonna use a sports analogy again.
No, I'm not. You're saying something I don't agree. You said the same sports analogy. It doesn't make sense.
But bro, this is the thing. This is the thing. No. The craziest part is,
let's just be very clear. Everything that he did before they found out of the royal, does all that matter?
Yes, it matters, but he does not hit the same.
Everything that he did before they found out with the royal anymore. Did it have impact?
Yes, but not the same impact.
Everything that they thought about Yuno because he came from the Forsaken Realm, was that incorrect?
Until they found out he was a royal. until they found out he was a literal prince. Because this is what every royal is gonna do. Yeah, he's only that strong because he's one of us.
Do you think William would have been treated better if they found out he was a noble?
Yes.
No.
Yes, because
They would have
okay,
treated him like
all the
scum.
feats that he does.
They would have treated him like scum.
All the feats that he does.
Julius,
no, Riddell.
No. If Julius didn't hide his lineage, they would have treated him like garbage, regardless of who he's connected to.
Riddell. This is what they would have done. All the feats that both of them end up doing. The fact that you can now qualify it, he's not. No, Yuno stops being as inspiring because you know why? He's a royal. He was never a commoner. That's the problem.
It completely ruined his character.
It ruins his impact.
Nobody think like
he still has impact on the show, but it doesn't hit the same.
But it's not hitting the same because he was never a commoner. He was always a royal. So they can say that's why he's so blessed with mana, because he's one of us.
Example that makes so much.
Now it's like, so now these commoners aren't really that strong. Like, it's like, bro,
Asta is the one that's doing the impact that you're saying Yuno is, because he's clearly a commoner. Unless we find out he's a prince of some far off kingdom in the world, and that's going to ruin Asta as well.
And that's going to ruin his character.
That's what Asta is the one who's doing it. He's showing you that commoners can still be ultra powerful with magic. The minute Yuno is revealed to be a royal.
But
hold on. Let me say this last thing, Bulls fan. The royals all over the Clover Kingdom can say, yeah, he's only that strong. He's only done everything he can because he's technically one of us. Are they still going to treat him like shit? Yes, but he's still a royal. You can't discount his lineage. It's literally been confirmed. So they're basically gonna disqualify or add caveats to all of his feats. He only did this because he's the prince of a Spade Kingdom. He was never one of you commoners. He never was. That's why he's so blessed with mana, because he's always been a royal. That's the thing.
No, so that's I'm not. Anyway, so when it comes down to an let's say someone was related to a high-end athlete. They're related to a high-end athlete. They go to but the parents die and they have the genes and everything, but they can't live with their family, can't live within the blessings with their family. They can't grow up with their family who are successful athletes. So they go to an orphanage, go to a town, very town with like not a lot going on, not a lot of success going on. But this individual obviously ended up being, very, very talented, a huge athlete. He kept on rising despite this town having no clout, no fame. And then this one star just kept on showing that, oh, he's better than everything else. And then after that, the town started getting some notoriety. People started saying, hey, maybe just because the town sucks doesn't mean that, everybody from that town is going to be terrible. And then afterwards, he becomes a success. He becomes a professional athlete, and then the perception of the town changes. People start going over there. People start having more hope. The kids that go there have more hope. They try harder. All of that. The town changes on his face after this athlete becomes a professional athlete and proved and defied the odds. Then they found out, oh, you're related to Michael Jordan. Does everything he did, you take away everything he just did?
No, but it hits
then what are you
different.
It hits different from a 6 foot, 5 foot
the
guy.
Commoners will care because he was never a commoner.
He was never a commoner. Hold up.
Okay, what is a
royal? I say, tell me exactly what the Royals. They were making the entire.
Oh man! Oh no! I suck it now. I'm not going to do anything. Is that what the Commoners going to say?
That doesn't matter.
No,
it does.
What we're
you keep on saying
it
hits different. What do the Commoners say? What do the Commoners do after they learn?
No wonder he's been able to do all that stuff. He's a royal.
So they're going to give up.
No wonder he's able to jump that high. He's related to Michael Jordan. He has Michael Jordan's blood in his veins.
Are they going to give up once they find out?
No, they're not. We never said that.
Then what are you talking about?
We're saying his impact.
His impact is not the same. It's not going to be the same as it was at the beginning of the story, bro. When we thought he was a commoner.
Riddell, if Mahomes retires right now,
his impact diminishes.
Riddell, you're telling me right now, Mahomes.
Those people are going to
Riddell. Let me give you another example then. Since
your examples don't work because
yes, it does. You just don't like it. You just don't like it.
I gave you a perfect example.
I gave you another one, and you don't like it. And I told you what would happen. Riddell, if Mahomes wins 10 Super Bowls. He wins 10 Super Bowls, and he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Then it turns out he's on PEDs or he's related to Joe
That's a
Montana, and he's on
terrible
PEDs,
What?
he wouldn't hit the same because he
That's a
cheated.
terrible example. That's a terrible example.
Okay,
That's
so
a
like,
terrible
okay, so what
example.
would hit the
The
same? What would
impact
hit the
doesn't
same? What
hit
would
the
hit?
same.
The whole no. That was
That's like, but that's like
People-
saying because if he's
That was a
6'6",
terrible
and you
example.
got okay, let's say you got Isaiah
No,
Thomas, right?
That was a terrible
Isaiah Thomas. The reason everybody was feeling Isaiah Thomas and people love Isaiah Thomas because he was a 5'9" guy, right? Who went into the NBA and was balling, right?
Yes.
He wasn't destined to be an
He
NBA
was
player.
never destined to be that.
That's why it's different. This man was a Clover. What was he? He was a prince.
He was
a prince. His entire character was built off from being an extremely strong commoner. That's how the story began. Even though he was a commoner,
It don't
he was
matter
still
if he
able to
like
be.
that. He was still a prince.
He was right. Even though he was a commoner, he was still able to push through his limits and be one of the strongest one of the strongest characters in the Clover Kingdom. Now this nigga, now we know that he's a freaking prince. That ruins the entire character.
The rules
So
of
that-
the Black
no, no,
Clover
no.
But
state,
what
if
they
you
would-
are royal,
no,
you
these
have
are
more
terrible
mana
examples.
than a
I
commoner.
literally because y'all, I don't know how because your example random was so bad because you're just going like, oh, your achievements are discounted. I'm talking about the
No, we're
impact
not
of the people.
He didn't
you
say
wouldn't
that.
hit
He
the
didn't say
same.
that.
I
He
did
just
not
said it
say
wouldn't
that.
be the
No,
same.
yes, you did. You said
I
It
did
wouldn't
not
be as
say
his-
that. It would,
he-
hit, it would not hit the same.
No, you did. Stop. Y'all gotta stop lying. You gotta stop lying.
I'm not
You
lying.
literally
But he
said-
didn't say that though.
No, you literally stop backing up when he's literally said this. You said Mahomes' achievements, winning the Super Bowl, the achievements of winning the Super Bowl is diminished because of enhancement of the individual. I'm talking about the impact of Yuno to the people around him, the community around him, and changing the perception existed. The perception, the problem with the Black Clover universe. I don't care what fans think. The problem with the Black Clover universe, the problem with the discrimination in the Clover Kingdom has always been you're from there, so you are scum. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter who you're connected with. It's you're from there, you are scum. It's an elitist mindset based off where you are or where you're from. They don't care about anything else. That's always how what it's been. So anybody, that's why if William being related to noble was still treated like scum, being related to a noble. We have other people related to nobles still treated like scum because of where they came from.
Once
if they
again,
know that you came from an
But
area
what-
that they
once
deem
again, Riddell,
unsatisfactory to the standards that is the Clover Kingdom, and someone rises above that, then they break the whole mindset that it's beyond where you're from. It is beyond where you're from.
So right there,
They
is it
break
not a
that
fact that Black
entire-
Clover?
The entire concept of you're from there, you are bad, is completely destroyed.
Right there, is it not a fact that commoners are born with less mana than royal blood? Is that not a fact?
it's one of the
commoners-
rules of the Black Clover.
They're
world.
literally born with way less mana.
Now this guy
What does
who
that have to
seemingly
do- what
mind
does that have
you
to do with
again,
what I
this
said?
guy who like you said, Riddell, this guy he came from the Forsaken realm, so he's gonna be treated like that. But he was seemingly the one anomaly. The guy was like, "Why does this
What
commoner
does that
have
to
so
do
much
with what I said?
mana?"
Did anything what I said was wrong?
Yes,
Did
because
anything-
you mentioned his
So
impact,
the
but
whole thing
hold
with
on,
the Clover
Riddell,
Kingdom-
I let you talk, please. You mentioned his impact, but when I am a commoner in the Black Clover world, drinking at a tavern, you heard about that guy, think about everything he did, and I'll be like, yeah, he only did all those things because he's a royal.
So you do think they would give up? So why'd you lie to me earlier? You think they would?
No,
just give up?
that doesn't mean everybody, but that's a caveat. People would add to it. People call people are still calling Tom Brady the GOAT, but they also say that he cheated. They also said that. Like you can add a caveat
Okay,
onto something and still be great, but he wouldn't hit
Okay.
the same because there'll be people who do
But he's still
discount.
great, right?
Yes,
impact
but
is
there will
still
be
there,
people
right?
who still discount his impact because he's a royal. If you're a commoner in there and you see doing all these things, and you're like, oh my God, he's been able to do all these things. He's showing the entire world that we commoners can be great too. And then the story comes out that, oh my God, he's the prince of the Clover Kingdom. That impact that he had is not going to hit the same. It's just not.
So let's be very clear. The whole perception of where you're from is going to dictate who you are. Is that not broken from what I said? Is that broken? Yes or no?
The
Is
fact
it?
that you don't get what I'm trying to say here, the fact that every noble can just say, yeah, he did all those things because he's actually a royal. Like, Yeah. Oh my God, he was in the Forsaken realm. But yeah, he did all those things because he's a
Okay,
royal.
then why did they treat other people who were nobles like trash?
Okay. Oh my God, you don't understand what I'm trying
No,
to
because what you're
say.
saying makes
It
no
doesn't
sense.
matter if they treat
told
him
It's
you-
like
not. It's not
trash.
about
He's
them
not
treating
the
like
symbol.
trash.
He's not the symbol you want him to be anymore. His
people-
his
people-
symbolicness is less. It's
No,
less now.
He's less
It is.
inspiring than when he
So
was.
people,
It's less
no, the problem with
inspiring.
the Clover King, you keep on saying the people. One, they have not been doing that at all. That's never been a thing in terms of Clover Kingdom. They do not put caveats. The problem has always been discrimination based off class. That thing is torn apart. That thing is just torn apart. So
No,
the
it's not. We
initial
also haven't seen
the
anybody
prejudice
really.
that they have, the prejudice they have, their whole thing of okay, maybe we need to pay attention to where they're from a little bit. Maybe we need to pay attention on their capabilities. Maybe we need to pay attention, not just commoner trash. No, we can't do it anymore. So does that mindset switch? So the commoner trash changes from maybe I need to look into it. Maybe he's more than a commoner.
They're not
Does
going
that
to look
change?
into it.
Does that
That's
change?
hard because this
No,
is the
does that
one
change?
anomaly because he's
Does-
a literal prince.
does that
He's a
Like
prince.
literally,
He's a literal prince.
Okay, so from your weird example, the noble, does he now go from okay, commoner trash to commoner, but I might need to look into it because he might be more than commoner? Does that change? Does that change? Yes or no? Does that change? Or does he still think commoner trash? Does he
Is
still
that-
think commoner trash?
bro? Listen,
he
bro.
still-
Is
no,
he's
answer
going to think that they're going to say, well, the only reason he's strong is because he's a prince of a Spain
Okay,
kingdom.
you're not answering the question.
They're
Does
not
the
going to.
noble does the noble now think commoner trash, or does the noble now think, okay, he's a commoner, but now I might need to pay attention to see who he really is? Does he now think commoner trash, or does he think twice about it? Because of what they've seen, because they know that there could be individuals that are more than a commoner. Does that change? Yes or no? Or do they still think commoner trash?
Oh my God.
Okay, I
Answer the
think it.
question.
I
No,
think
you
their
can- no,
mind.
you gotta answer the
Okay,
question.
okay. To be honest with you, I think yes, it'll change their mind. They'll think about it'll change their mind. It wouldn't be the same.
All right, Random, answer the question. Random, you gotta answer the question.
I guess they're all looking for their own secret. Maybe this commoner is a secret prince that I can use for my
If that's
army.
how you want to frame it, hey, there we go. If I want to go down y'all mindset that the nobles are gonna caveat everything, then at that point, still change the perception of how they treat other people.
To be fair,
That's still stands.
Reezy reacts. We haven't. The crazy part is they dropped that he's a royal, and then we haven't seen how the other characters react to that news yet. We just time skipped. All of a sudden, shit was going down again.
Yeah, all we know is Yuno did a lot in terms of changing things before we knew it, and then we know nothing about anybody.
I don't think that's not what we're saying. So right there, what we're saying is, regardless, he was going to change their mind, right? He was going to change the perception. But it's not going to hit the same, bro, because we actually thought he was a commoner.
It's not going to have.
Not going to hit the same.
Nobles
What does
can
that
use
mean? I need
nobles can use
because he's not because he's a prince. He's not an actual commoner.
This is what it means. This is what it means.
What is the
nobles can now use that?
Not hit the same. What is that?
Nobles can now use his success as a way to discount others. Like, you're not a prince. The only reason he's able to do everything that he's done is because.
How will they know that other people are not princes? How will they know?
Oh my God!
How will they know an orphan's not a prince? How would they know? Answer the question. How would they know? How would they know? No, I'm dead serious. How would they know? Because the only way they found out Yuno's a prince is because he ended up going to the Spade Kingdom. So how will they know that you're not a prince? How will they know that you're not a noble or royal? How will they know? I'm curious.
To be fair, to be honest with you, I don't know, because I don't know how. We're just using the rules established by the world itself.
The rules established is they found out Yuno's a prince because someone happened to find Yuno. That's why. There was no other rule. Someone happened to find Yuno from his past.
And that's how they will disqualify. They can use that to disqualify his achievements. The fact that he's a royal means royals have certain advantages that the rest of the commoners can't. So now the commoners could actually, mind you, we're probably going way too existential with this in terms of how the world itself would react in terms of the actual story, but that is just a thing that you see all the time. Yeah, he's only able to do this because he's Michael Jordan's son. He's only able to do this because he's such and such celebrity's son, or he's related to this. That's how the nobles can use that to keep down the commoners. What, you think you're Yuno? No, that's a special case. He's literally
How
a
will they
prince.
know? That's the point. How will they know?
That doesn't mean that, okay, maybe one or two nobles will like scour their territory looking for talent, but that doesn't mean everybody will do that.
Their whole idea of knowing who someone is just because of where they're from is completely broken.
I think you could easily, those people could easily say this guy is clearly a special case, and keep it pushing.
Well, I think Yuno has shown that he's more than that. So at that point, you think that Yuno's impact, it was irrelevant. That all
I'm
that,
just saying you could.
No, it's not irrelevant. It just doesn't.
Irrelevant.
No, Hari, no.
It's not
Because
irrelevant.
Earlier, I asked. So you're saying that everything that Yuno's done, all that impact is gone, and you said no.
I said no. I never said it was. I never said it.
Yeah, I said
it
is it
just
all
doesn't hit
gone?
the
And
same.
you said no, it wasn't all gone. But now you're telling me it is all gone.
No,
that is what's going on right now.
I'm saying that there are clearly people in that world who could do it. There are clearly people in that world who could.
What
Hell, Noel's siblings could. Like, the only reason you're that strong is because the only reason you're like this, obviously we only got some Golden Dawn members. All of them are high class royals. They all could do that to them if they were still alive. They're like, oh, the only reason you're able to accomplish all this stuff, the only reason you're the vice captain right now is because you have royal blood in you. That's why you're able to do all these things. That's why, not because you're a true commoner. He's not a true commoner.
So he didn't change anybody's minds.
He did change people's minds, but I'm just saying, I'm showing you the other side of that argument. You're telling me people cannot disqualify what he's done. You tell me that possibility is not even there.
Some people can, sure. Okay.
What do you mean, sure? It's a big reveal that he's a commoner. It's a big reveal. It's a big reveal that he is.
Okay, so you're saying some people will discount it completely.
Yes.
You know, absolutely.
Some people absolutely will. You know how discourse is.
Okay. So I guess that's just where we disagree.
You know how regular discourse is. Like people.
I mean, some people will always do something that doesn't really move me. As long as your impact is large enough, then that's what matters. Some people will always do something. There's always contrarians. Like I mean, I hear you, but there's always contrarians to everything. There'll be some people that puts caveats on anything.
And the number of contrarians will grow the more and more news of being a royal will be. It really will, especially once it's been confirmed. It's been confirmed by both the Clover and Spade Kingdom.
So you think there's going to be more contrarians than people who get impacted by Yuno?
Most commoners will be sitting there like, damn, like, that's crazy. He's done all that. And then there's always going to be somebody, or maybe two people, are going to be like, yeah, but he only was able to do all that because he has royal blood in his veins, not because he's actually one of us.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the sense that I don't agree to that. I think for the most part, Yuno's impact will retain itself, especially considering how much he actually did, and being the #1 rookie and being the leader of the Golden Dawn. I think his impact will retain itself. I don't think those contrarians will have enough of a sway to change anything else. Because if we're being honest, I mean, we could do the same thing for Asa. Because the only reason why Asa is strong is because of anti-magic.
Yeah, but he's still a commoner. He's still
a commoner.
We don't know who.
Right now, until we know different, he's completely.
I don't want to go down that route. The one
whose case for a commoner is better.
The whole thing you were going at is the caveat. So that's the point. People can caveat Asta as well, saying the only way he's that strong is because he utilizes anti-magic.
Guess what? There could be
Yuno
a royal. Asta. That's what they'll call him. They'll call Yuno a royal, and they'll still call Asta a commoner.
Substance in the magical universe, anti-magic.
He's still a commoner. They'll call Yuno a royal.
Asta uses no, that's not.
Okay.
But this is the point. No, you were making a whole deal of there will be contrarians, and I'm like, yeah, sure, there will be contrarians. So I'm just pointing out there will also be contrarians with Asta.
Yeah, but their point will not
a power that is the antithesis of everything, and it's literally unstoppable considering what it can do. So they'll caveat Asta because Random. Let's be very, 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 very clear. Asta might be a commoner, from what we know. He's a commoner that no other commoner can replicate because he has anti-magic.
But he's still a
But he's-
commoner at the end of the day.
He's
Y'all-
now the
y'all are picking
sole
and choosing
commoner
your arguments
symbol.
now, not
That's
gonna
what
lie.
he is now.
You said will there be contrarians with Asta? Yes or no?
Yes. But
Then,
he's
okay,
he's
there we go.
He's a better symbol for the commoners now. Now
How?
he's a better
Nobody will ever have anti-magic.
because he's still a commoner.
How are you gonna get anti-magic?
But he's still a commoner. It's
How
what
is the commoner gonna replicate?
So you're telling me Asta's impact, he's still until we know something different. He's still a commoner through and through. The people now know that Yuno is a royal, so they're gonna call him a royal.
Let's be very. This is so nasty.
How is it nasty? That's actually true.
Inconsistent right now.
That's actually true.
The whole thing that you're coming at Yuno for is that there would be contrarians. Now, when it comes to Asta, we recognize there will be contrarians. The whole thing with Yuno is before we knew anything about him, he was an orphan from somewhere we don't know where he came from. The whole thing with Asta
we also
is
thought he was a
he's an
commoner.
orphan from somewhere we don't know where he came from.
We also thought he was a commoner. You can't skip that part, Riddell. You can't skip that part.
What you're saying. Let's be consistent. Yuno has power from his origin that is very unique to him. I give you that.
Yes, and also the added fact was that he was a commoner, so he also had the chance to break society as it is.
People because he grew up in a circumstance that believed to be impossible to succeed from.
Yes,
Asta came from a circumstance with a very unique situation, gained a power that's very unique to him that no commoner will be able to replicate.
You're right, but he's still a commoner symbol.
He inspired people. Because he excelled in a situation that nobody thought he would excel in.
And the perception of Yuno changed once people found out he was a royal. You cannot.
But in the Black Clover universe, that did not.
We haven't seen it yet. It'll be dumb if Tabata doesn't address it.
I can literally say the same thing.
How are you just skipping over the fact that he was a commoner symbol, Riddell? He was a commoner symbol, a symbol of we can get like this.
What is
then
wrong with
guess
commoners?
what? The top commoner symbon was he was the prince of the Spade Kingdom.
What is
so
wrong
he's
with
no longer a commoner anymore.
What is wrong with commoners? Why is being a commoner bad?
Because first of all, let's not even talk about the actual just lifestyle changes. It's also the magic capacity and the magic thing. He was at first glance, he was a commoner.
Why exactly is being a commoner bad? I just want a good definition here.
Well, besides the fact that your lifestyle actually changes.
Both of them have the same lifestyle, but keep going.
Oh my God.
Keep going. They had the same lifestyle.
Royals and commoners. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yuno grew up as a commoner, but
I understand that.
So he grew up in the same lifestyle.
Yeah, and everything he achieved, we thought he did it because he was a true blood commoner, but he's not.
Random, you said lifestyle. Why are you arguing with me? Lifestyle. They had the same lifestyle. What are you arguing about?
And the fact that you cannot understand that people will view Yuno differently because his mom is the literal queen of the Spade Kingdom.
Bro,
is
the
crazy.
lifestyle point is irrelevant. They have the same lifestyle. Keep going.
Yeah.
Why is being a commoner bad? I don't know what you're arguing about.
Riddell, is it not true
that
royals have more magic than commoners? Is that not true?
Say that again?
Do royals have more magic than commoners?
So royals have more magic than commoners. So
yes.
Why is being a commoner bad? Because they have a little magic?
Yes.
So what does that mean? What does having little magic mean compared to the people?
It means
that have a lot of magic?
Right now you can be a magic knight.
What? You're weaker. You're weaker, right? That's the problem. You're just much weaker. That is the reason why this prejudice exists, right?
Yes.
Commoners have little magic power, and they're much weaker than someone who has a lot of magic power. Okay, let's get that. We got that across. So, being a commoner is bad because of lifestyle and because of power. When it comes down to it, Asta, lifestyle, same lifestyle. When it comes to power, Yuno has a unique power that I agree is above
that
all the
he
commoners.
has from his royal blood. You cannot keep skipping the fact that he's a royal. I'm not letting you do that. You cannot keep skipping the fact that he's a royal. He has royal blood in his veins. He has royal blood
because
in his
he's
veins.
literally born with extra power.
What is being a royal?
I don't know.
He has royal blood in his veins, Riddell. Is that not true? Does he not have royal blood in his veins? Is his mother not the queen of the Spade Kingdom? How are you skipping that? How do you keep skipping that? His mother is a literal queen of a whole kingdom. That matters because we know that royals have more magic than commoners. Yuno was never a commoner. He was never a commoner. Never
Brandon,
at all.
He was never a
No,
true commoner.
He was never a
I'm
true
gonna
commoner.
try to
He was just commoner
You said
in
it right there.
lifestyle.
No, Random, you're getting your feelings. You said it right there. You said it right there. I want to key on that. I want to key in on that. Royals, stop getting emotional. Royals have more magic power than commoners. The reason why in the Black Clover universe, the reason why royals treat commoners so pathetically is because they're weaker, because they're inferior. They have less magic. They provide less in terms of their ability to kind of be an important function to the system that is the Clover Kingdom. It's all about power. It's key on that. That is the only reason that the royals treat the commoners like trash, not because of their blood, but because of power. Let's be very, very clear on that. So yes,
keep skipping
Yuno
this really
has
big
the
part
power.
of Yuno. How do you keep skipping that? You
What
just
do you-
keep
Bro,
going
are you not
over it.
listening? What I say wrong? Is what the reason why the royals treat commoners like crap is because of power. Am I right?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
Yes, yes, you're right.
yes. But Yuno is not a commoner. He is a royal. He has royal blood.
Why you keep on bringing it up? I know
Because you
that.
keep skipping that part.
There's nobody skipping anything random.
You just keep skipping
I
it.
literally said Yuno is a royal and he has that power. You're just not listening because you're being emotional. I literally said Yuno has that power. Yes. Literally came out of my mouth. Yuno has that power. Yes. Where am I skipping? Where's the skip? Where's the
Then
skip?
how do you skip
I said he has the power.
lesson impact?
Yes.
How do you skip the lesson impact? His ability to do everything that Yuno has
Now you're trying
done
to skip-
will
no,
not
we're getting-
hit the commoners the
No, we're
same
getting back to the
because
point.
he was
You're trying to
never
skip
one
the
of
point.
them.
No, you're trying to
He's
skip
never
the point.
truly one of them. Some
So
people are not going to
the
expect
reason-
it. They're going to disavow him now because now they know he's a royal. Now that
The
they know
reason-
that.
The reason why, if you're trying to skip from the point, the reason why a commoner is treated less than a royal is magic power. It has nothing to do with blood. It all has to do with magic power. Yuno, yes, he has the same amount of magic power as royals. I agree to that. But let's be very clear. The reason why Asta is also different, very similar to Yuno, is because he has a power that equates himself to the royals, being anti-magic. They both have power. Both have power that is beyond anything that any commoner can possess. So let's be very clear on that situation. The reason why we brought this up is because Random brought up that, yes, certain people will put caveats behind Yuno, of course, because his power is similar to the royals. They go like, the only reason why you're as good as you are is because you have power equal to us. They can do the exact same thing to Asta. That is the point.
But you still have magma as well. Like, bro, magma is also a commoner.
That's a different point. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. Asta, when it comes down to it, is an individual who has a power, a very specific power that is different from every commoner, and that equates himself to the royals. So there can be people, because this is your point. There will be people. There will also be people that puts caveats on Asta's achievement, saying it's due to anti-magic.
Once again, Riddell.
Did anything I say was wrong? Before we move on,
No, you're not wrong about that. But Riddell,
okay,
who will have greater impact, especially towards commoners? Yuno or Asta? Who will have greater impact?
I never denied that.
And that's my biggest thing. Yuno loses.
I never said Asta didn't have less impact.
Hold on. Yuno loses a bit of value for his impact because he's always been a royal. Sure, he lived like us, but he was never. But when you look it down deep, you can say he's always had to step up because his mother was a royal. So he has royal blood in his veins. So he was never truly one of us.
Because of his power? Because of his magic
power?
You can
argue that. He start off with a completely full, massive water tank, and we all just had fucking water bottles. Like, I don't understand how you don't get that. His magic capacity was different.
Asta have a step up?
Asta is the anomaly.
Does Asta have a step up?
Yes, because he's an anomaly for the commoners.
Okay, so
Yuno is not a true anomaly for the commoners.
Do they both have steps ups? They both have
yes.
A commoner.
Okay, what is your point? They both have a step up.
But he's actually a commoner. But Yuno is a prince
commoner
of the Space Kingdom.
Yuno has this step up because he's a royal.
About blood. It's not about blood. We realize that the only reason why the royals are racist is because they took magic from the elves, right? It's not about blood. It's not about their lineage. It's purely about power. We know that, right?
Yes, we understand
So
that.
why do you keep on bringing up the blood part when it's all about power? Why do you keep doing that?
Because the blood is directly related to how much power that Yuno has. Yuno did not start off with a commoner water bottle like
So
the
the
rest
blood
of
is
us.
related to the power, but what matters? The power. If you have blood and don't have power, you're treated as trash. Correct?
Then how is William the fucking?
Am I correct? If you have blood and you don't have power, you're treated as trash. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes, but the fact that but the
So
fact that Yuno once again had this giant water tank that he could use. Meanwhile, every other commoner had a water bottle. In the beginning, everybody's like, "Oh, he's just like us. He just got hooked up." But no, he was always one of them. He just lived like us, so it doesn't hit the same.
but
It just doesn't hit the same.
Either. It doesn't. Asta, like you said, Asta's an anomaly. He's a different type of individual.
Yes, but he was actually one of us. He was actually one of us.
How?
Until Tabata says otherwise.
Tell me the
Asta
difference
is a
between Asta
commoner.
and Yuno other than blood.
Because his impact will hit the commoners way better than Yuno's.
Why?
Because Yuno is a royal. That's why.
What does that have to do with royal? Because he's strong. He's stronger.
Yes, and
No,
the only reason he's stronger is because he's a royal. That's why. That's Yuno's biggest thing he has to get over.
And who's
Asta is a commoner until further notice.
Stronger than who? Everybody, all the other commoners.
And he's a commoner. And he's a commoner.
But he's still a true. But he's a true commoner. But it's
he's a commoner through and through.
I swear to God, y'all just doing this on purpose. Why do y'all keep on doing, bro? I don't understand this. Black Clover universe is not like that because of anything else but power. I don't know why you keep on bringing up blood like it matters.
Because your blood has something to do with your power. It has something to do with your power.
Matters.
I agree. So when it comes down to blood equating to power, the only reason why you are who you are is because you have that power. Let's be clear.
So you're telling me
has the power.
So you're telling me right now, hold on, Riddell. You're telling me right now, if everybody knew that he was the Spade Kingdom Prince from the beginning, he would have been treated the same.
If everybody knew he was Spade Kingdom Prince from the beginning, he would be somewhere else. He would live somewhere else.
If everybody knew, he comes from the same place, but for some reason, right before the Magic Knights exam, people find out, oh, that's the Prince that's the Spade Kingdom Prince. They would treat him the exact same. You're telling me that. That's what you're telling me.
No, I never said that.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Random. I swear to
God. The minute they find out he's a prince, the captains will talk to him differently. Some motherfuckers will be apologizing. They'll also qualify his achievements because he was always a
random.
Which means he always had the capacity to do this compared to Asta, who is a true born commoner.
There's a terrible point. Because
how is that a terrible point?
Listen. How about stop being emotional and listen. I need you to listen, Random. Random, I need you to listen, buddy. I need you to listen. My whole point with Yuno is actions that he has done. So you are literally taking away all the actions he has done because his situation would have been completely different if he was a royal. I agree to that. His situation would have been different. All of his actions wouldn't exist. So all of his impact wouldn't exist. So that doesn't make sense to use as a point. When it comes down to the situation between Yuno and Asta, I want to be clear. I am not even saying Yuno's impact is on par with Asta. I think Asta's impact is larger. The point on where you're trying to diminish Yuno's value is due to royal blood equating to power. Because the only reason why royals are relevant is if they have the power to match. If you're going to diminish value for Yuno based off something that he had when he was younger, making him a very different individual from someone else, my point is you would have to do the exact same thing with Asta. Because Asta, like you said, was an anomaly. Asta, like you said, had anti-magic. That's a very unique circumstance. So although I still think Asta's impact is larger, if we're devaluing Yuno, we would have to devalue Asta because
Random said this earlier. He's an anomaly for the commoners because he's actually a pure-blooded commoner. That's what he said. That's what Random said earlier. Yuno is not an anomaly for commoners because he's a prince.
He's a commoner in lifestyle and blood. Yuno is not a commoner. He's not a true commoner because he's a royal in blood. He just lived the commoner lifestyle. The fact that you just don't see the fact that people are just gonna treat Yuno different, especially now that they know that he's
I would give you some people. I literally said that. I gave you, okay, some people would devalue it to an extent. Sure, there will be contrarians. Did I not say that?
Oh my god.
Yes, you did. You said that. Yes.
Did you not agree that people would also do the same thing for Asta?
Yes, but it's not the same.
It's not the same
Not the
though.
same.
What is the point? Why does it matter if it has to be the same? If diminished value is diminished value, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Diminished value is diminished value. Am I wrong? Because I never even said it was the same. I'm saying diminished value is diminished value because there will be contrarian.
Yuno is way more diminished than whatever Asta can be because he's still a commoner through and through. The fact that you can qualify Yuno's achievements because you can say he only did this because he had royal blood to start. So he's always had a leg up on everybody else. We thought he was a commoner, but he never was. He never was.
You diminish value because Yuno had the power to be a royal.
Yuno was literally born a royal
because of
not just a royal, a prince.
He's
a prince. So he's been hooked up.
He had the power to be a royal, correct? He had the power to be a royal.
Yes.
So why is Asta not treated the same if he had the power of antimatter?
Because he's a
commoner.
He's a true commoner. He's a true right here. What did you understand?
You talk to
I don't know. Being dumb on purpose. Like y'all are blowing me.
Hey,
how?
Hey,
oh, pause.
How?
Pause.
Yeah. Pause.
That's crazy. Okay, I just want to be very clear of the terminology. Yuno's value is diminished because he has the power of a royal. Crazy. It has nothing. Why do you all keep on bringing up royalty, bro? The only reason why royalty matters is because of the power. So if we recognize if you have unique power or extreme power, if we know that you are that type of individual with that type of power, then yes, you'll be treated differently.
What is the reason? Why does he have that power? Why does he have that power?
If you have power that is very unique and very powerful, you would be treated differently. Yeah, I agree to that. So I don't know how Asta, who has a power that is unique, that is super powerful, that is very different, that equates himself to royals and nobles and all that stuff. I don't know how.
He's not one of them. But he's not one of them.
What is that?
Yuno is one of them.
What does being one of them mean? Let's take out
he
power.
has royal blood in his veins. That's what it means.
Let's take out power. If the royals had the same amount of magic power as commoners, would that matter? Would there be racism? Would there be classism? Would there be classism or racism?
Yes, there clearly would be. There's classism.
Yes, there would.
Yes, there would. There's classism right now. What's different from you?
Clover universe. What?
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm talking about the Black Clover universe, not the current.
Yes, there would be. World. There would still be classism. There's always classism. What are we talking about? There would still be classism. They would just find something else to be of value instead of power. So that means maybe the richest family would be the king. Like, I don't understand what to tell you.
Okay, let's say
there would always be classism.
Let's go with that. The people who have the most money, they're the kings. Okay, people with the most money. So would Yuno be treated different if he achieved a lot and didn't have that money?
Yes, but then if he turned out he's always had a secret trust fund from his mom, it hits different.
So let's keep that analogy because you guys are not understanding the PowerPoint. So
like Asta did it straight from the mud. He just his idea just hit pay dirt. He never had a trust fund.
No, Asta didn't get straight from the mud. He actually had a unique resource that is different from the current currency, but is unique and has the same value as the other currency.
Oh my gosh.
That's literally what happened. Is that wrong?
Has this giant nest egg of stuff from his parents. While Asta had nothing. He found the resource.
The only reason why he found the resource is because of Lichetta. He was always going to find the resource. It didn't happen by chance. Libby was destined to find Asta.
Yuno was born royal. He was born royal. I'm saying
they both are the same thing.
That's no, they are not. No, they are not. No, they are not. The world sees them differently now.
The world
sees them differently.
Asta, when it comes to Asta, because now you're moving the goalpost. So when it comes to Asta, let's say because you don't understand the PowerPoint, let's say he has his resource. He finds the resource, but this resource that he found was destined to make it up to him because of what his mother did. So it was always going to get to him. Like regardless, it was always going to get to him. But this resource equates the value towards what the royals are bringing out. So Asta has this resource that's helping him along their way. And Yuno has his trust fund. I agree. He has his trust fund that is the same amount as the royals. and it helps him along the way. Yes, I'll give you Asta's impact will probably be larger, because Asta's impact will also be devalued.
It's not gonna be devalued the same.
But it will be
They're not the
devalued.
same.
I just want to be clear. Will it be devalued? Yes or no?
Yes, but
Yeah,
it's
a
not the
little bit, but
same.
but
It's
not to the level,
same.
not to the level of Yuno.
So
Not
that's
to the
if
level
that's the
you
question.
know at all.
It's not even going to be close.
Okay, Asta's thing will be devalued. Okay, so we got that. We finally got that point of shot.
We agree with that from jump, but it's just not.
I said
Asta.
I said Asta had more from the start, but you guys did not agree to that. You guys kept on trying to move the goalpost.
Oh.
So
Hold on, it originally started because I said Yuno's character kind of got ruined when they made him a prince
They never
of the
should have made him a
Spade
prince.
Kingdom. That ruined his
They never should have made him a
character.
prince.
That's how this originally started. Then we got into this entire argument. But at
They
the end
never
of
should have made him a prince.
yeah, that was bad. I don't know why they did that.
That really hurt his character.
Yeah, I don't agree to what you guys are saying. But when it comes down to it, when it comes to Yuno and him and his character ruined, right? So in terms of his, let's say 100, how much did it ruin his character for y'all?
Well, first of all, I'm not a big fan of Yuno anyway because I want more from Yuno, but Tabata will not give us more Yuno. So now I'm just working. I'm like, this is what you give me, this is what I'm working with. But I think he stood out. What the best part of, especially when Black Clover position is like, these are two commoners who are showing themselves to be the best, maybe the best of us, right? Shattering what royals have said for a long time, and shattering the literal rules of the world. But when we find out that Yuno why he's so powerful can be attributed to his genes, the fact that he has this giant reservoir of magic because he's royal, and we know in the world of Black Clover, royals have more magic than regular commoners. People are going to now look toward Asa, because I get that he was always destined to get Libe, right? But he's still a guy who got it out the mud.
How did he get out the mud?
Out the mud, through and through. How did he get out the mud? If anything, he didn't have anything. He didn't have any magic at all. He didn't have any magic at all.
But at the beginning of the show, Oscar barely was using anti-magic.
Right? How did he
was
get out
working out every day, nigga? He worked on his
Yuno was
physical
training
feats.
too.
But not like Asta. Asta was
training
a lot of Asta.
No.
A lot of Asta.
Let's be clear. Asta was training. Are you saying Yuno wasn't?
No.
Okay.
Asta was training for his physical abilities, not his magic, though.
Highlight the freaking one by Kai English.
So Asta was training. Yes,
Asta was getting by with his strength and his speed.
Based on random framing, he's acting like everything was given to him. So Yuno, was he training? Was he training?
Yes.
Yuno training hard.
Yes, but he was training hard. He was training hard for his magic ability.
Trying to qualify. I'm just asking questions. Yuno, was he training hard?
Yes. He was training hard.
He was training hard, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to be clear. Yes, Asa was training. He was doing. I agree. Let's be clear. Yuno was also training very, very hard, exceptionally hard. Let's be very clear on that. So, keep going. What you were saying before, because I don't want to make it sound like Yuno was just powerful. No, he made himself powerful. Let's just be very clear. But keep going. Also,
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot what I was about to say, man. That kind of threw me off. But what was I going to say?
Oh, random was saying all this stuff about Yuno, and he was like, Asta got out the mud. I'm like, are we acting like Yuno didn't?
Yeah. They both, but it's a little different though, because
he had a higher magic capacity than anybody else his age, unless you were royal.
He had a higher capacity, magic capacity in the entire village. The entire village.
We both recognize Yuno trained very, very hard to get where he's at.
Yes, but you're telling me a commoner at the same age as Yuno, other than Asta, which we now know is the anomaly. Like any other commoner does the exact same thing. Maybe they're born with magic. We already know when they're born.
Wait,
Asta, we know. We know when they're born. Yuno and the average commoner, Yuno is winning in terms of magic capacity. And even if they both train the same, if they both train extremely hard, Yuno is always going to be above unless the story is different. Yuno is stronger than every other commoner in the series, other than Asta.
This is crazy.
And we've also seen Magma's luck, all of them.
Facts. Magma has more impact than Yuno.
This is
as far as commoners.
This is crazy to me. I said
Hold
Asta
on,
has
hold
more.
on.
No, that's fine.
Right
Nari.
there, right there.
No,
The question, because
Asta,
I want to say something real quick. You asked us how much
Asta
did
has trained more. I agree to that. But it's weird to me. It's like all you had to see is also trained extremely hard. Like also did it from the beginning.
We never
So
said he
like
did.
Asta getting out the mud was
Had
what
always
else
had
was
a
it?
leg up. Always had a leg up. Always did.
And Asta didn't have an anti magic.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, bro. Okay. So the original question you asked us, right, was how much did this
Am I
ruin
wrong
Yuno's
though?
character?
Did Asta not
Right?
have a leg up with the anti magic? Because you keep on saying the leg up thing. You got to be consistent.
We've already acknowledged that he had that, but first
Okay,
for the first
then.
14 years of his life, he didn't have anything. If you go look at if this was a video game, would have 1,000 HP, 1,000 MP. Asta would have nothing.
But they
Probably
didn't
the average
do
commoner would
anything
have
yet in the
100.
series. What does that matter? They didn't do anything yet in the series because everything that Yuno
He
was
still had higher magic capacity. That's why it
they
matters.
didn't do anything. They had no impact yet. So when it comes down to it, training everything because he was training hard for especially for a commoner. He was training extremely hard. Asta was also training extremely hard. Everything that Asta trained up to for him to start his adventure culminated when he achieved anti-magic. Everything trained up to culminated when he went on the adventure utilizing his magic. So when their journey started, all their training played up to when they took the Magic Knight exam. And all of it came full circle when they both dominated.
The fact that this is what I'm saying. Everybody in the Black Clover world can say did everything he could do because he was a royal. And then that's why he was able to get Bell. That's why he got the 4-leaf clover freaking book, all that. You can say Asta did everything he could because of some strange magic. He's still a commoner. He's just a commoner with strange magic. That's all it is.
He's
is a royal. That's why he's able. Is a royal. That's why he's able to do everything that he's done. I could easily qualify it like that. Other than he just got lucky to the regular commoner. He just got lucky to find this crazy magic that Asta found. Was a royal. No wonder he's been able to do everything that he's done. Get Bell, get the 4-leaf clover, get star magic. He's the only motherfucker with 2 grimoires. If Asta had 2 grimoires and he was a commoner, that shit would hit different. That shit would hit different.
This is the goalpost moving is insane to me.
It's not goalpost.
You said Asta had strange magic. Let's be very clear. Anti-magic is the most powerful thing in the Black Clover universe by far. Let's be very clear on that. Let's be very clear. It's not strange magic. It is the most powerful thing in the Black Clover universe that has no counter. None.
You can legitimately argue that Yuno's power is more attributed to how he was born than Asta. You can legitimately argue that.
How? Because let's be clear. Asta was born and he was always going to get Libby. Right?
The minute was born a royal, he was different. He gets more magic. That's what we know. You could legitimately argue the only reason he's this powerful, despite obviously all the training, all the extra stuff, is because he's a royal. You could argue that. You could legitimately argue that. He's got whether or not he never lived in a giant castle or not, he had the privilege of having extra magic, even when they didn't do anything. He always had extra magic.
Why do you keep on saying the same thing? I literally said yes, has more
That's magic. The thing. That's what
hurts
him.
Multiple times. So why do you keep on
hurts him? That's what hurts him as a character.
I know. Like if something hurts something hurts Asta too.
It's not the same.
I never said it was
not
the same. Never said it was the same. Did I say it was the same?
Oh.
Again, you're just saying things. You're not listening. You're not listening, and you're just saying things. So they both had something, of course. That's why I asked my other question. Okay, if Yuno is at 100, where does it come down to? Because they both have something. We both agree. Yes, they're not the same, but they both have it. So they're both devalued. So I'm trying to see.
You're telling me.
But what we're trying to say is they're not devalued the same at all.
If we both agree that they both have something and it's both devalued, now what matters in this conversation, because I don't know why you keep on repeating the same thing, is the percentage. So that's why I asked you. At 100.
It devalues.
At 100. Where does he drop to?
I'd say 50%.
Yeah, I'll say 52.
Okay.
Yes. He's not.
And maybe I drop Asta to like 75. Like, if you're telling me right now, hold on, both. I got a question. Riddell, you're telling me right now, if we found out that Asta is the prince of the land of the waves in the Black Clover world, you're telling me you would respect his magical achievements or you'd be like, damn, maybe he also had a fucking step up in terms of
For
his
me,
magic capacity. Yeah.
I don't take achievements from either of them. That's for me. Y'all
It
do it.
would
That's why
hit
I'm asking y'all the
different if you
question.
knew that he had a clear genetical leg up. That's where we're coming at. You could legitimately argue that. You could legitimately argue because of his lineage or his freaking genes, Yuno was always supposed to be kind of powerful. He just got a little extra, but he was
Yeah,
always
but
going to be kind of powerful.
that's
Noelle
the
couldn't
re-
control her magic. You still wasn't trying to get hit with one of her spells because her shit hit harder than Magma's. Like, what
Yeah,
are we
but
doing?
that's all of that is irrelevant to me. If you make an impact and you change your society, then I'm gonna give you all the credit in the world for doing what you did.
I would argue.
If you change
I'm
the
cut.
society for the better, if you change the society for the better, and then if you change the society for the better, then I don't see any reason to take that away from them. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
So that's
so
how I
I'm
think.
gonna
That's
ask
why
you
I'm asking
I'm
about
gonna ask you
your
one last question. Whose impact would be different if Rock Lee did everything Naruto did, or just everything that Naruto did?
what?
If Rock Lee was able to become Hokage when he had no taijutsu, when he only had taijutsu and all that, and then we say Naruto. Basically, this is exactly. Let's use Rock Lee and Naruto, right? We don't know how they were born, right? We don't know their parentage, and they
Okay.
go doing everything that they do in the story, right? But then if you find out that, oh my God, Naruto is the son of the previous Hokage, his impact is different because, oh yeah, that makes sense now why he was able to do all those things. He had the Hokage's blood in his veins. That's why.
Okay.
Then if Rock Lee did everything Naruto did, but Rock Lee was just throwing heads all the time and opening gates, like that's what would happen.
So I want to be clear. Did I say Yuno and Asa's impact is the same? Did I say that?
No. Oh,
Then what's the point of the analogy? Because what are you trying to prove from the analogy? I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure that out. Like I'm. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the
I just
what's the
think
point
you
of the
really
analogy, random?
disavow the fact of how Yuno being a royal really affects his character. It really does.
Because his character's not very great. Besides the fact that he's a super inspiring character.
That's
So when you take that
He
aspect
was
out,
set up as this. He was set up as obviously the rival to Asta. This thing when we even seen commoners talk about it that they're like, oh my God, this commoner is incredible. We've never seen a commoner like this before. And then I don't know how long has passed in the world. Maybe a few months later, like, oh, remember that awesome commoner? No, he's actually the prince of the Spade Kingdom. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
like
So, like I said, if you change society based off your actions, based off what you did, and changing perceptions based off what you did, then I don't care where you came from. I'll be honest.
I
I
don't
just
think
don't.
changed society as much as you think he does.
Oh, then that's where we disagree.
Magma has better impact than you know. As far as to the commoners, Magma has better impact.
Magna has better impact than Asa too.
Yeah, yeah, he does.
Yeah,
But
so I don't
Asta's still a
disagree.
commoner though. That's
But the difference is
Why do
like
you keep
Randall
bringing
keeps
that? You're
saying.
trying to argue with me. Like that's what I said still stands. Random. Did I say anything wrong? Did I say anything wrong?
I don't even think Magnus thinks that because he's still a commoner. Asta's still a commoner, so his impact's going to be higher than Magnus.
Well, Asta's impact to commoners is higher than Magna's.
Yes, because he's a commoner. Because he's a commoner.
So is Magna.
Yes, and Asta's because Asta's done more incredible things. His impact's going to be higher than whatever Magna does. Because he's a commoner. The lineage, we've talked about this enough that we know the lineage of these people matters, right?
So if
so as far as everybody knows, Yuno is no longer a commoner. He is a royal. Whether or not you want to say how he grew up, if he trained hard, he's a royal now. That's how
stop
people
bringing it
are
up.
going to look
It's
at him.
irrelevant to the point.
Now we're looking at Magna and Asta. They're both commoners as far as we both know. And Asta's done more incredible shit. So his impact is going to be higher.
So do you take away the fact that Asa has anti-magic at all?
No, because he's still a commoner.
So none. You don't devalue Asa at all, having. So
no,
now you're
because
changing.
not in time.
So now
He's an anomaly amongst commoners.
I know it's an anomaly. It's something that will never happen again. I know.
But he's still
But he's
his
still
his
100%
impact as a
commoner.
symbol for the commoners does not change at all. It does not change at all because he's still a commoner.
How do you inspire people with a power that nobody else can possess?
Because you still inspire people to go out there and train and do their magic. It doesn't matter if nobody else had it. You still inspire people.
So you say that again. Say that sentence again.
Once again, because he's still one of them, he still inspires them. Even if nobody else will ever have anti-magic, you'll still be like, damn, it's crazy that commoner did all that for us 500 years now when they're talking about Asta. Because Yuno's story be like, and then people found out that he was a royal.
And they devalue him, right?
And they devalue it.
Okay. But it's not
they
completely
devalue
gone.
it. It doesn't hit everyone the same anymore. Asta's impact will always hit the same. Whether or not he had a special power or not, he's still a commoner. So commoners will respect his impact way more.
So random went from, oh, it does devalue to it's not devalued at all. See, this is what we're talking. See, you don't know.
You notice how he just skips over the fact that I'm right here. It's not gonna hit the same.
I never said. Why do you keep on saying stuff I never denied?
It's not going to hit the same.
What do you want bonus for? You're arguing with the cloud.
Even if you want to devalue Asta's achievements, that he had a special power, it's still going to be worth more than Magna's. It still is. Asta's literally saving the planet right now. He's saving the world. It's going to matter more. It's going to matter more, especially that he's a commoner.
So
even if you want to devalue it.
Who is also saving the world.
But he's a royal.
But because he's a royal, it takes him so much more down that it's lower than Magnus.
To the commoners, yes. To the commoners.
Yes.
Not to the world, but to the commoners. At the end of the day, Asta is 100% commoner. He has commoner blood through his veins. Yuno
I don't care. I don't care. So when it comes down to it.
All right, bro. Okay, bro.
All right. So I'm gonna ask this one last question because this is ridiculous. So when it comes to the Clover Kingdom, when Yuno saved the Clover Kingdom and was taking out elves and recruiting people, let's say there's a villager who saw Yuno do it. From what they know, he's a commoner. Are you saying that person, after finding out Yuno's a royal, goes like, oh no, I'm more inspired than Magna now, even though you did what you did?
No,
are they saying
they're still going to thank Yuno for saving their lives? But they're like, of course, he was able to do all that because he was a royal. He was not a commoner.
So those people are going to say, you saved us, but you're a royal, so you're not that much inspirational anymore. I think Magna's more inspirational than you. That's what they're going to say?
Because they understand the gap in power.
Yeah. Okay.
They understand the gap in power. What are we talking about? You can't disqualify his royal status from this.
Nobody does that shit.
I'm not
going to lie. Nobody does
keep doing this.
Nobody goes like, I'm going to take back all my opinions about you.
Goku's impact hits harder because he's a low-class Saiyan. But if we found out he was King Vegeta's bastard child, it hits different. That's why Bardock's thing hits different. You keep disqualifying this. That's why I'm getting mad. You keep disqualifying the fact, or it's just, oh, well, guess what? I'm just not going to agree, or just shoot over it. It matters. It's going to hit different. We thank that royal for saving our life when Yuno came down. Other than we thank that dude from Little Rona Village, like a few miles away, for coming down. That's crazy, son. You're also a commoner. Maybe you can also be like him because he's one of us. That's how it hits different. That's how it hits different.
I never said it didn't hit different. Stop getting emotional. Now, when it comes down to it, you said that Yuno, despite everything he did, and despite them viewing them how they viewed, and doing what he's doing from where he came from, growing up where he came from, and his inspiration at that point, saving the Clover Kingdom by himself, by the way, and leading Magic Knights. At that point, the moment they find out he's a royal, his value is less than Magna's. And that's the question I asked. I don't know what.
I guess maybe not less than Magna's because Magna could not do that. But at the same time, if you want to compare, if you know what you're telling me right now, if Yuno was a complete commoner, it wouldn't hit. If Yuno was a complete commoner, it wouldn't hit. It would not. Him doing it as a commoner, the impact would be way greater.
I agree.
Way greater. Okay, so then
with me again.
So then, if you want to say it's more than Magna's, I apologize. And then I went too far. So because Magna can't accomplish that feat, but anybody who could accomplish that feat. If they were commoners, it would hit different.
I agree. I never denied
his value goes down, Riddell.
I never denied that. I literally agreed to that. I agreed that so early on. So I don't know What are you trying to prove? What
I'm tired
point
and I'm
exactly are
hungry.
you trying to prove?
That's what I'm trying to prove right now. I'm tired and I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go get food.
Hey
That's it.
man, you don't
I'm
need
gonna
some
go get
respect.
food.
That's when I don't lie. People be hating on this dude. It's crazy. I like
Nah, I ain't gonna
Trevor Lawrence.
lie. His character got ruined, bro. It's so bad, bro. I
Yeah, I
can't believe they did
disagree.
it.
Yeah,
They never should have made him a royal.
I disagree there. I
They
don't
never
know.
should have made him a royal because that hits
The
different.
story is more complete once, especially when eventually when Austin, eventually confront each other. They better confront each other, but eventually when they do confront each other, it's more
Ah,
complete. They have unique origins. If Asta, I mean, when we find out about Asta, if we find out, let's say he comes from a very unique clan that has. That's what I think. Honestly, I think he comes from a clan that's very unique. That's why Luchetta was the way she was. A
they
very
royals?
unique clan that's outside.
Are they
What?
royals? Do
No,
they
they're
have
just
some
a
kind?
clan. They have
If that
nothing to do with any of the kingdom
okay, but if it
hierarchy.
turns out that clan has more magic capacity or the ability to get special magic, now his impact's gonna be lessened to the story than him being a full
Well,
commoner.
I think their clan personally, I think their clan has to have unique ability concerning who Luchetta is. So because that plays into taking magic and storing magic and all that stuff. That has to play into all that stuff. So I'm thinking they have a very, very unique trait. And
This
then we
man
find
Reese is
out
trying to
that
get me to
Asta's a
blow up.
part of that clan that has this unique, very unique trait that kind of is the reason why he was able to get anti-magic in the first place. I'm saying I won't take anything away from Asta.
Reese reacts trying to get me to blow up. How dare you? Throw some respect on that Tengen fight, Reese. Throw some respect on it. Don't get me started again. I'm tired. I'm tired as fuck.
Well,
I'm gonna DoorDash me some
if
ramen.
it
I've been
does
on a ramen
happen,
kick.
which won't happen till like 4 years from now, because Black Clover just be dropping chapters 4 times a year. If it does happen, I need Random, I need Nahari, I need Lonnie, I need J Rob, and I need Ty to keep the same energy. I need them to keep that same energy.
The same energy will get caps.
I hope so. I hope it does. I hope it does. I need that energy cap.
Well, not the exact tank, because at the same time,
Nah,
he's still not going to be
you
a
can't go. No,
nah. Because he's still not going to be a
same
royal
energy cap.
prince.
I
He's not
need
going
the
to be a
same
prince.
energy. No, I need the same energy cap. We can't qualify it. That seems a little biased. It seems like you're trying to qualify it right now. I need the same energy, bro. Not gonna lie.
Listen, bro, it is what it is, man. I love Black Clover, man. Before he was a prince, he was a solid character. Now he's just mid, but it is what it is.
I mean, who's your
I
favorite character? Is it Asta?
in Black Clover, no, it's
Yeah.
not Austin.
Who's second?
My favorite character in Black Clover is Luck, and then after that is Johnny.
Mm.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I guess you can call me a Cam Mary Leona. I'll give me a spin-off story with her, please. I'd love that. Just give me a spin-off story with
You
her.
said who?
Awesome. Mary Leona.
Oh yeah, she's a good character. I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
Possible. With that said, let me gotta make a clip. We've got another unfortunate tirade. And I blame Nahari for bringing the topic up.
Hey man, my fault, man. I didn't even start a heated argument, man. Just had to
Man,
get that
they
off
keep
my
on
chest because
disrespecting this man, bro. It's crazy, man. He didn't even do anything to deserve it. Not gonna lie. Just chilling. Just getting killed. With that said, let me do this. All right. Black Clover. Oh man, not gonna lie, Nahari, I'm about to spoil so much shit. I don't know.
all right, hold on. I'm a dip, man. I'm a dip. Hey, thanks for having me up here, man.
Yeah, no problem, my guy.
All right, you got it. I'm gonna go get some food.
Yeah, I'm about to say this thing for a TikTok clip and then wrap it up.
All right, and then Louis, I'll let you know. I'll let you know after you get off. After you get off live.
No, you can say it now. What's up?
Luis he asked if we wanted help with the segments because I just don't have a lot of time right now, but he wanted to see if we could make them more appealing, more to watch than just watching like.
Does he edit videos or something?
Yeah, he does the same thing as me, except he's actually has to go, like he's not remote.
Okay. So. Oh well, we could talk. But
shut up, Luis.
This is honestly, not gonna lie, this will be my last debate. I'm tired of talking about and
exhausted.
It's tired of talking about Kind of same with like Trevor Lawrence. Tired of talking about these dudes. Just like a lot of the guys killing them. I promise you, y'all, if y'all watch Press Box in Open Field, I won't bring up Trevor Lawrence a single time. I'm gonna keep a list and check mark every time Trevor Lawrence's name brought
To
up.
be fair, every time the Jags get brought up, Trevor Lawrence is definitely named.
Sometimes Trevor Lawrence is brought up just randomly. He's like,
well,
someone will be doing-
early be sniping sometimes.
not only him, J-Rob be doing it, and other people be doing like, man, he's not like that one quarterback at Jacksonville. Like, damn, man.
I just want people to acknowledge he had the worst coach in NFL history his first year. That's all I ever want. So,
and I want to acknowledge that Tabata is disrespecting Yuno.
We've been saying that. We've been saying that since we all started watching the anime. Give Yuno a few goddamn scenes. Let us actually watch his ass train. Other than in the beginning of the fact that when Asta gets sent to the land of the rising sun, and I know Ty said it as a joke to show you what the next page was. We should have gotten at least a couple chapters of like everybody who was there reacting to Asta's death, so to speak. Like maybe Yuno really realizing how much that rivalry meant to him. That would have really helped Yuno as a character. Tabata just didn't do it. It's like you forget that, like why Bakugo works, right? Because we see him fucking struggle sometimes, right? We see that shit. If we all of a sudden we just keep skipping to different Bakugo parts, he wouldn't hit the same. Like that's one of my biggest problems. So I'm like, if you don't care about Yuno, I'm gonna stop caring about Yuno more than you.
I mean, I'm not even mad at what you're saying. Also, just to be clear, when you use the terminology agree to disagree, this would have been the perfect opportunity because we fundamentally disagree with the concept of taking away value after learning about something later. So we'll never agree. We'll just keep on arguing in circles. So if we don't agree to that concept, then that whole like keep on debating it will just happen a looping opportunity. So that's why sometimes I'll be using that. I'm like, we're just not going to agree. No matter what points he brings up, no matter what points I bring up, we're just not going to agree. So that's how you use agree to disagree.
Definitely going to, when we make your shirt, I'm just going to put I just disagree on it.
Sometimes you got to, because you just be having some Mavericks getting blown out without Luka. Bro, people need to recognize Luka carries that Mavericks team. It's not even.
What's the score of that game?
I think they're playing the Rockets too. It's kind of nasty.
Oh no.
It's like whatchamacallit. Well, there was a debate today where people started looping.
Oh my god. Oh, Riddell. They're losing by 22.
Was Kyrie Irving playing?
Let me find out. No.
Yo, I've been telling people this, that the Mavericks
Seth
roster
Curry is 0 for 7.
That's nasty. The Mavericks roster is not good. Like people try to pretend it is good. It is the only reason why it's good. It's because Luka Doncic exists. Like that is the only reason why it's good.
Sengun is cooking right now. He has 20 and 11 on 7 of 9 shooting.
Fantasy, so.
He's cooking right now.
That's crazy. But we got some really excellent podcast episodes coming up when it comes down to the award show. Also, if y'all haven't already in the chat, join the Discord. Award nomination show next episode. That'll be a banger, January 2nd. Top 10 BSS anime and manga of all time, episode number 10. BSS episode number 10. That's dropping January 9th. And then January, what's that, 16th? It's January 16th. Let's say, should we make, there's a lot of options for that episode. We'll figure that out. Will it be the big Dragon Ball episode? Will I finally read Dragon Ball?
You have your break. Now's a good time to do it.
How busy? Your Discord link won't work. Are we L-mans? Let me put a Discord link in right now.
That's tough.
Also, Kick is cooked. It just doesn't work. I'm tired of Kick.
Well, just keep it as a backup, I guess, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. I will read Dragon Ball. I'll give it this fair deal. I'll read the entire thing. And we'll have maybe a Dragon Ball episode in January. Then maybe we'll see. Depending on what guests show up. Depending if we have guests. Because I'm probably going to hit up this one guy to come on. And if he does, might be a Attack on Titan episode, not gonna lie. They give true respect on how great Attack on Titan is.
Did we not do that the week after the last episode came out?
Yeah, we did a reaction, but I'm talking about in the BSS.
No, I thought we did. We probably just did it as a topic, not an actual show.
Yeah, a lot of the main topics was mostly Bakugo. I don't know. I know a lot of Bakugo type episodes.
Mm.
Freaking Bakugo.
That we also need to do. We need to review the season as well.
He gonna have to Kai, otherwise he getting fried for skipping 200 chapters.
They're talking about how you should watch Dragon Ball.
Oh, Dragon Ball Kai. What? I already watched Dragon
the-
Ball Z. I need to
Yeah.
read OG. Dragon Ball.
So Dragon Ball Kai is just like a shortened version of it.
OG Dragon Ball or Z?
Z.
Oh, yeah, I already seen Z, so I already know everything that happens to Z.
Hmm.
Lock in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let Random go. I'm gonna do this final segment breaking down the biggest issues of Black Clover for a TikTok, and then we'll wrap things up for objective breakdown Black Clover edition.
Tell Tabata to respect his goddamn second best character in the series more.
Tabata is just cooked right now, bro. He has so many things he got to focus on. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we got that heated debate between Yuno. I'm so tired of that debate. So will I have that debate again? No. Until Yuno does something important, I won't be talking about Yuno anymore unless it's like a debate topic. But with that said, I just respect Yuno and what he's done. I respect the man. Black Clover. All right, this is how I'll go. Objective breakdown, Black Clover edition. This is everything that I am not happy with in terms of the final arc. Now, I did read the recent chapter as well in terms of 369. I do highly recommend checking it out because there's really interesting moments and panels and art in that chapter. With that said, here's my biggest issues. First thing, I do have a huge issue in terms of Lucida, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know who she is and her origin. I need a better explanation on, one, how she got cursed, and two, how she was able to conceive Asta. Are they going to do this like a Virgin Mary thing where he just popped up? It's kind of weird for that situation to occur, considering Asta is the anti-Destiny child. And next, of course, is how Libby created anti-magic and what is anti-magic truly. I do need a really good explanation on that because anti-magic is a unique substance that exists in this magical world that defies everything we know about magic. Why does it exist? What is it? And of course, once we get the explanation on anti-magic, maybe that'll help us understand the ridiculousness that is anti-magic magic, as we have anti-magic combining with magic, creating something that doesn't make sense, in my opinion. So I need a big, huge breakdown of that, Tabata, and that is something that could help your final arc, if I'm being completely honest. Those are two huge things. Other things I'm not going to really bring up to kind of keep tabs on what is going on. I will bring up these two other things, though. First thing, how did Asta arrive at the land of the sun? Lily said she didn't do it. Lily said that Lily also has never been to the land of the sun. So how was she able to send her, or how was he able to transport himself from the Clover Kingdom to the land of the sun? It's really weird to me how that happened. So that's very big for me, for especially like I'm also imagining, like, wouldn't Lily just transport to the land of the sun if she could? Like maybe she did, to be fair. I don't really know. I'm not gonna comment on that part, but I will say it's kind of weird that Asa went there and Lily said she's not the one who did it. How did it happen? Big question mark. And the last thing is Lucius. I think Lucius is on fraud watch, to be honest. And I think there's a lot of problems with him as of recently. There's contradictions behind a lot of things he said. First things first, when he talked about Yuno, he indicated early on in the story, and I'm going to bring up the exact quote so we're on the same page. Early on in the story, he said, "Of the tens of thousands of futures I foresee, there's just one where they have the advantage. The key to it is a singularity with two grimoires, one from the Spade Kingdom, the other with a four-leaf clover, the child of the elf leader, Sylph's chosen one, and the rightful heir to the Spade Kingdom throne." Couple of chapters later, this was what he says about Yuno. This can't be right. The Yuno who grew up in the Clover Kingdom shouldn't have the kind of power if he's burning life to get it, even if he's burning life to get it. In my predictions, the world in which Yuno was the strongest was the one where he steadily acquired power in the Spade Kingdom, which never had a rebellion. Even the Yuno needed several years to master star magic in that universe. So in one instance, he says the key to winning the most key universe, the singularity had two grimoires. And in this one, he's saying the strongest one actually had a Spade grimoire. There's some contradictions there that I don't really understand. Another thing regarding Lucius that's kind of weird as of recently is that Lucius indicated that he can't see the current timeline. And the reason why he can't see the current timeline is because of Asta. And the problem with this is that it's not something that he would have realized now. This is something he would have realized a long time ago. He actually said that Fuegoleon should not be alive. Fuegoleon should be dead. There is only one instance in the Black Clover universe that we saw a situation where Fuegoleon should have been dead. That situation was when he faced Patri. So when he found out that Fuegoleon was not dead against Patri, that immediately should have indicated that this future timeline was incorrect. So all his visions about this timeline right from that moment should have been incorrect. So we got that clear. The reason why it should have been incorrect is because of Asta. Asta being a irregularity in this current universe. He had a number of opportunities to take out Asta. Adremelite could have taken out Asta and killed him. He didn't. He could have killed Asta when he fought him, but he let Lily take care of it. Or even earlier on in the series, realizing that Asta is going to be a threat moving forward, and he's ruining this current future. He had multiple opportunities. So the fact that Lucius didn't kill Asta, the fact that Lucius can't see this timeline, the fact that Lucius contradicts himself, and the fact that Lucius is still confident he's going to win is ridiculous to me. I'll be honest. Lucius is on fraud watch. I'll keep it a stack. Also, I'm kind of confused about the two souls thing. I don't know why it matters. And the last thing I'll bring up, how did Lucius get Astaroth? Keep in mind, Astaroth is one of the kings of the underworld. One of the kings, like Lucifer and Beelzebub. And when Lucius took Astaroth's power, he only had soul magic. And the reason why this is significant is, one, Dante and Xenon were not able to just take the devil's magic. They made a contract with the devil. We have no confirmation if Astaroth has any type of self-identity, any type of presence in the story. Nothing. Our assumption is he just took the power. So he took the power from Astaroth, only having soul magic, compared to his other siblings who can't do that. And even if you want to argue, oh, maybe he's just the greatest devil user, he needed Lucifero's 50% to defeat Lucifero in the underworld. So he couldn't even defeat Lucifero without time magic, 50% of gravity magic, or Lucifero's power, in addition to his soul magic. He needed all that to take out Lucifero, but with just soul magic, he took out Astaroth? Again, very, very weird. And will we get anything regarding Charmy and the dwarves? I don't know. So these are just a few of the things that I have big issues with when it comes to Black Clover Final Arc. And the biggest thing, I just remembered, I didn't say it, anti-magic magic makes absolutely no sense. So I hope you guys enjoyed my objective breakdown of the final arc. There's so many issues with it. Will Tabata fix it in the time span of the next couple of years, as he's only dropping a chapter every 4 months? I don't know. But at the very least, ladies and gentlemen, if Yuno is the final villain, gets ultimate power, and it's a Yuno versus Asa to end the series, I might be okay with it. Hope you guys enjoyed, of course. That's all I got. Peace. Kobe, I just finished that. It's a good thing the final arc is not over. They can explain a lot of stuff. I'm here with you. Will they do it? Not sure. That's all I got for Objective Breakdown. Y'all have a good one. Take care and peace.